Ahoy hoy, and welcome to Burning Wheel Part 2. New campaign, Who Dis? We're all playing books, everyone. Burning Wheel. My name is Logan. I am GMing this new system. I have my 4 lovely players. One of them is new. We'll get to that. But we have done some prep work beforehand, so we've already burned all of our characters, and we are ready to go. So I think we'll start off. If everyone, you want to go introduce your real self, and then introduce your character. Maybe give us like 2-3 sentences about them. And then let's see. It's the first time. How about we go through beliefs, instincts, and then don't do all your traits. Maybe do your general traits. Well, I don't want to hear your dice traits.
Every trait.
Yeah, just open up the book, start listing them all off. I know Sarah has like 12 million of them. I don't want to hear them all.
So many. So many.
Okay, well, Sean, you're the only one who's played in the current position they are serving, so go ahead and do that. Start us off.
True, yeah. Okay, well, my name is Sean. If you haven't met me before, welcome. I've been on this stream since the beginning, so you'll see me a lot.
Totally new, yeah.
I'm totally new. I have no idea what I'm doing. And yes, so I played the first campaign, which was also Burning Wheel, and I played Mia. So my goal this game is to not fall back into Mia by accident when I'm not looking. But I will be playing this time character named Ada, and kind of her just big snapshot is she's the relentless journeyman, and so she's wandering blacksmith and craftswoman, and so that's kind of her main gist. Her beliefs are that I will find the Sword of Wintertide and unlock its secrets. First, I must find the weaponsmith's workshop. The people of Hochen are desperate. I will raise them out of suffering. And my rival, Angar Smith, is also looking for the sword. I must find a weakness to use against him. So one of Ada's main driving kind of ambitions is to find these ancient artifacts. And the one near where we're playing right now seems to be this Sword of Wintertide. So that's what she's very concerned with at the moment. Her 3 instincts are: generosity is the key to a well-lived life. If I'm asked for help in good faith, I always offer my aid. Traveling is a dangerous business. I always have an eye out for incoming trouble. And learning the lost arts of the ancients is my life's goal. I always dig for more information on the world's artifacts regardless of people's opinion. Yeah, and so those kind of tie back into those beliefs a bit. And let's see, the most important traits are she is superstitious, so that'll be fun to play because I think Mia was also a little superstitious. She's generous, so that's going to suck because she has actually no money at all, basically.
Because she's so generous, she used to have so much.
Exactly. So I don't know. She doesn't have anything to give, but boy, does she give it. And she's a gossip, which I think is going to be really fun to play because she travels between a lot of the different villages and towns and sort of the countryside. So I think it'll be fun to put up kind of random rumors and gossip for all the people she's met. Yeah, and that's Ada.
That's Ada. I will challenge you. Don't be like Mia. This town is made of wood.
I don't think any of us are gifted, so we shouldn't have to
None of
worry
us are
about
gifted, but she's a blacksmith. She likes to play with fire.
Yeah, our real
I make
threat
no
here is
promises.
mundane fires.
It is the burning wheel.
Things must burn.
To burn something down at least once every game.
Okay, fingers crossed, not this session. Abby, you
Yeah.
want to go next?
I am Abby. I GM'd the original Burning Wheel campaign. And I am playing Morrine, who is a really cool lady. She grew up and went through the ranks to become a knight, and then she had an accident while fighting some bandits that injured her arm. Not so bad, but then she went to this doctor and he did a really bad job. So she lost her arm, and then she was demoted and basically just like had an arranged marriage to this guy. outside of the capital city, and that's how she is supposed to live out her life, but she's not so sure about that. Her beliefs are Alden, her husband, doesn't want to remain in this town, but I need more time to investigate the rumors surrounding Hochen. I will convince my family to remain in the village for the time being. Belief number 2 is Gutrung, who's the doctor who treated her as an irresponsible and dangerous man, and I will destroy his career as he destroyed mine. And belief number 3 is Lord Stravit is failing his town and his people. I will evaluate if he has pawned his responsibilities off on the outer bureaucracy. My instincts are never let disrespect go unpunished, when trouble's brewing, draw my sword, and never trust decisions made by so-called divinity. And her traits, she has formalist, condescending, fixed smile, and fearless are the important ones.
Okay. Well, speaking of so-called divinity, Connor.
Yes, Logan, I am divinity. That is true. Hi, my name is Connor. Pronouns are he, him. I've been on the stream once before, did a little bit of Dawn of Worlds with the crew, and that was fun, but finally actually getting to play some full-fledged character-driven RPGs with them. I've been playing RPGs for 5 years or so now, but haven't ever played Burning Wheel, so this will be an exciting new experience for me as I venture out as Brother Wirt, W-I-R-T. He is a nearing middle-aged priest. He's a very pious man, very secure in his belief in his faith. His faith is central to the far-off kingdom that he comes from, land named Lachlan. They have a belief there that blood is divine, and with it carries a great amount of power, and having the blood of some great person in your veins through lineage is a way to bestow that power into new people. So the kingdom has been kingless for a while, been monarchless, I'll say, and the order of the church that he is a part of is tasked with going out and finding somebody to continue on this lineage, finding some kind of long-lost descendant. So Brother Wirt is currently residing in an abbey here in Hochen, and with his sister, Willow, they are working together to try and restore this lineage and get their kingdom back to some kind of power. He is a not severe, but serious man. His beliefs are that Hochen is under siege by diabolists, and their source must be uncovered. My sister's ailment is worsening. I must learn if this is ordained by God. And the throne lies moldering. We must find the next monarch to preserve God's vision. Instincts. He's a very prepared man. He will never leave home without bandages, food, and water, holy or otherwise. When someone is holding a sword, it's best to let them have their way. And when someone asks for advice, long parables of long dead saints often have nuggets of gold in them. As far as traits go, he comes from a matriarchal society. He has infallible religious logic. He is a very cryptic man, and he is, in fact, faithful, so he can actually use the faith aspect of the game, which I understand is new for this group. So that'll be fun to play out.
Yes. Okay, and last, Sarah.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi. I'm Sarah. I have been playing with Systems Go for a while now. Not since the beginning. I came in somewhere in the middle. And I probably have the least experience playing RPGs, but I do it with heart and accents. So
And props.
and props, occasional props. And I will be playing the elf exile, Ragaire. And he is a very a fun and lonesome elf out on a mission for his liege. Basically, he committed a taboo earlier in his life, and because of that, he is now an elven exile and the only reason the elves keep him around is basically to fulfill their dirty deeds, essentially, since two actual pure elves can't do that anymore, but since he's a sinner, he gets to take all the dirty work. So he is out on a mission to investigate rumors, and one of his beliefs is, I will investigate these rumors and see if my liege lord's son is here. And because he's this kind of separate caste of elves, he does most of the violent, dirty work. And so one of his beliefs is, any infernal presence throws off the balance and cannot be allowed to continue. I am the blood sword for a reason, and I must sever all evil. And then his third belief is, the elves have abandoned me by making me an exile and use me for their dirty work. I owe my liege lord my life, but I will not waste extra effort on serving the race, but instead in protecting others before I fade. And since in the game they say for elves, if you're an exile, you can't go to the west like in Lord of the Rings. You can't kind of go into the other life. You just become a ghost. You slowly become a ghost. So that's one of the reasons why he doesn't care about the elves anymore, is because they banned him. They banned him from Happy Fun Times. And his instincts are, I never take orders from anyone except my liege. And once my sword is drawn, my enemy must perish, which is Logan's favorite instinct.
We're very excited for that to come into play.
Yep, it's gonna be great. And the last instinct is, my concept of time is beyond mortal comprehension. Why are they all rushing around? So I feel like he's just gonna be like very slow to act in some ways and just like staring at things for extra long periods of time. As Logan said, I have a ton of traits, but the most important one is probably grief. It is a die trait, but I'll just touch on that. So because I'm an elf, I accumulate grief as bad things happen. And if my grief reaches a certain point, then it's like automatic game over for me. I just kind of become a wraith. And then exile is the other trait. I'm an enemy to my people because of the taboo I committed. I can't journey west, and I'm infamous amongst all elves. So unless it's like the liege lord who I work for, pretty much no one wants to talk to me. Pretty much no elf wants to talk to me.
Well, that's fun.
It'll be great. So yeah,
you don't want to talk to them either, so
it
goes both ways.
I'm done with elves. I'm over it. I'm gonna try to make new friends now.
Yes. Thank you. Okay, and so as a lot of some of the beliefs related to, there's some demony stuff happening, some rumors happening. We are playing also a pre-made campaign for this beginning opening bit called Trouble in Hochen. It's one of I think maybe 3 or so published by the authors of Burning Wheel, so we're going to take it, sort of use it as our own, and then once we're done with it, sort of go on our way building off from what happens. So that's sort of why a lot of their things talked about Hochen. The situation that they all had in mind when they're coming up with their beliefs is, you have been sent or called to Hochen. How exactly depends on some stuff we worked out, but Hochen is in dire straits, famine in the dead of a hard winter, and rumors of an infernal influence. And so that's what some of their beliefs were alluding to. But with that, I think we can go ahead and get started. Anyone have anything to say before we jump in?
Have fun. Burn that wheel.
Burn that wheel. Okay. Great. So you all are traveling as a group. There's a couple people in your caravan, maybe let's say 20 or so. No, that's a lot. Maybe 15 or so, sort of accumulated of random people as you're traveling out to this sort of village. I think Morrine, your husband Alden, he's sort of what started this caravan. He's a task that he's supposed to do in Hochen.
What
And
is
other people are just traveling. What is
what
his
I want?
task?
I want a description of Alden. What he looks like.
He is a he's never probably been on a battlefield. He's a bureaucrat through and through. I think he's a very thin man, maybe some like horn-rimmed glasses. He still has he's not older. He's how old are you? Probably
32, I think. Yeah.
32. I think he's maybe just a little older, like maybe 38.
Mhm.
But he's kind, quiet. He really doesn't do confrontation all that much. But he's quite a smart man, and that's sort of why he has been elevated through the ranks. You know his task in this town. He is supposed to show up. They haven't paid their like town's collective tax for 3 years now, and he is supposed to show up, ask maybe a couple questions, but then get it and leave. And that's sort of why he started off. And then the rest of you sort of join this parading caravan as it was headed toward this town. And these rumors are sort of trickling through the caravan from other people that you meet along your way. You're like, oh, I'm going to Hochen. They're like, oh, have you heard about the infernal influence raging in that town? And you're like, no, I haven't. Please tell me more.
Just demons everywhere.
Yeah. Or like the next town over, they're like, oh, they're in the dead of a hard winter. And you're like, oh, great. Yeah.
Ada is definitely the one spreading these rumors.
Yes.
She's gossiping with the best of them. She's moving to every, people like turn into little cliques, and she's just wandering over to a clique, and she's like, oh, how are y'all doing? It's great. My name's Ada. Did you hear about Hochen? I knew there was something up with that town. Angar lives there, and he's always up to no good. There's something wrong.
She's
Infernal doings, they say.
Sort of the source and receiver of a bunch of gossip. You guys have each heard rumors about yourself inside of this caravan that are started by her. And you've only been traveling for about maybe like, it's actually probably a ways off, maybe like 3 or so weeks you guys have all been together as you're traveling. It is far up in the mountains, sort of well on the edge of this kingdom. The towns get sort of sparser and sparser, and then it's about a week out from Hochen is when you pass the last like town on this road. It's deep up in the mountains, and it is cold normally, but then as you're going up in this mountain, it gets colder and colder, and there's just snow sort of covering the ground. Not unseasonal, but quite cold, and there's probably like 2 feet of snow in some parts. As you guys finish your journey to Hochen, it is about maybe 6 or so in the evening, but it's up in the mountains, so the sun has sort of already started to peak behind the mountains, even though it's early, and the temperature will drop pretty quickly here. There is a sort of a small ravine with a river that is just completely frozen over. You can see that it is probably a quite large river when the snow all melts, but at this point it's just a small stream that's frozen over. And there's a rickety wooden bridge. I say rickety. It's well constructed. It's large. You can all fit across it, but it is not the nicest looking thing. It has like a thatched roof that's sort of falling over. And you all can see sort of on the far end of this bridge is a man wearing a bunch of cloaks, sort of fur bundled up, just sort of waving you all down. He has a lantern ready to go for when it's dark. And you all, let's see, who would know who this is? Maybe Alden tells you that this man seems to fit the description of the Wirt of the town, the sort of mayor. His name is Martine. And he tells you that this seems to be this man as you guys sort of approach this bridge. Martine waves you down from across the bridge and is like, "Oh, welcome to Hochen. please, not all at once on the bridge. It might not take it. So just one at a time, maybe. And Alden is like, oh, okay, well, he goes over first, and they sort of like speak, and as the rest of you sort of make your way across this bridge, by the time all of you are across, they're sort of finishing up a conversation. Alden's like, well, I mean, I've been sent for this package they sent ahead. You should have known, like, I'm coming. And Martine's sort of like trying to, you can see he's not really great with answering the question. He's like, well, we don't have it all right now, but we can try and get it. Just wait here. I'll be right back. And then he just sort of turns and leaves you all standing at this bridge as he sort of like hustles back to his little house. You can sort of see him across the way. It's not a very big village. But he's gone not more than maybe a minute before he comes back with like a bag sort of filled with things, like currencies, probably not hard metal, but just like a sum of money. And he sort of like shoves it into Alden's hands, and Alden goes to open. He's like, no, it's all there. Don't you worry. You can just keep all that. And then it's sort of like an awkward pause. He's like, well, okay, you'll be on your way. You can all turn back across the bridge. Not all at once, one at a time still.
I'll get up from bundling Odelia up because it's so cold. I'll like put a scarf around her neck. I'll be like, Alden, I hear that they have this great little townhouse in town. We could stay here for a little bit, get a little bit vacation away from the city. It'll be a great time.
Martine sort of pops up. He's like, oh no, I don't think that would be for the best. I wouldn't. There's not much to do in town. I think you should just really be on your way.
I think Ada is also like, oh yes, I thought I sent ahead a note as well. I purchased one of your leaky shacks. I'm planning on staying in the area for a little while. I think you could use the help of a qualified smith.
Oh, we have a great smith in town. His
A
name is
qualified smith.
I know you probably should work out better real estate deals. I don't know if this leaky shack was a great purchase. I really think you should just all.
I think it's a fixer-upper. I'm not too worried. And then she kind of like pulls Ragaire over, slaps him on the back, and is like, and I have found a new friend who I think also needs a place to stay. So we're going to settle down for a little bit. We'll see if we can fix this place up a little bit. Right, Ragaire?
Ragaire steps up too close to Martine.
You tower over this man. He is
and
a
I'm
short
just like,
man, and you are a tall elf.
I'm a tall, dirty elf. I'm here to see Calthea. Where is she staying?
I don't know anyone by that name, I assure you.
He's like, I'm staying here until I find her. And then he turns around. He doesn't even wait for a response. He just turns around, goes and joins Ada, and is like helping her with
Ada's
her bags.
like, Calthea, was that the name of that? Who's that? Calthea.
Calthea.
Have I heard that? Calthea, have I heard that anywhere? Calthea.
Wirt will kind of step in to fill that spot that Ragaire is leaving. And he's bundled in like a monk's robe and then furs and furs and furs and furs. He's got a totally shaved head and he has like 3 scarves just wrapped up around his face, and you can just see his eyes, and he like starts to slowly unbundle all of it as he's approaching Martine. Please, but my friends, we've been traveling with them and they don't mean any harm. I know they can be a little bit off-putting, but there's no I'm sure they would love to find a place to stay in the town. They won't cause any trouble for you, I promise. If we need to, the abbey can take them in, but please, it's going to be cold out. They're just looking to settle down somewhere for a little while.
The abbey, I don't know if they could take you. She's quite sick recently. I don't know if she could feed you all, but you see him sort of like sigh in defeat. And he's like, "You won't leave."
We're already
I'm
halfway
just
down the
wa-
road.
Yeah. he does.
He's like,
he-
"You won't leave," and all four of us have already made our way past him, like
Yep.
50 paces.
he does. He invites you to eat with him, to sup with him for the night, just to sort of get acquainted in town. And your little leaky shack might not have. It's not stocked, so I don't
It's a
know if you
fixer
can.
upper.
It's a big upper. No, but some of the people in this little caravan have either like gone. They're not sort of in your group, so like they've dispersed, and you're not really concerned with them anymore. You've said your goodbyes to them. Few of them are actually planning to stay. Many of them were just here to like either drop something off, pick something up, visit a family, but they'll all go their separate ways. But Martin he does invite you into his house, I guess. So
Yeah. Ada's more than happy. She's dragging Ragaire around like a lost puppy. More like a
That's fine.
unwilling dog.
Yeah, I feel
An
like
unwilling cat. More like a cat
Ragaire
on a
is
leash.
just like, it's fine.
I think
Okay.
Ragaire realizes that Ada's filter is limited, and so news and information seems to flow from her.
And I don't have to
it-
do anything.
Right. She's a good person to be around if you just want to hear what's happening. And she's more than happy to talk about what she's seen and what Martine has seen as well.
Yes. Speaking of what you've seen, so as you guys are sort of walking through the town, you can see it's not very big. There's maybe a total of like 40 buildings. You can see off in the distance, like up on one of the hillsides, there's a large sort of stone manor, not quite a castle, but more than like a house. And then like down the ways, you can see like where this little abbey would be. But it's not in the actual town proper. Most of the buildings in this town do not look great. They have like shattered windows that have been boarded up. They have caved in roofs that have just sort of been covered with cloth. There's like large gashes in most of the building's doors. Martine's house, relatively untouched. There's sort of like this town center building, like a hall. It's relatively untouched, and then there's a statue to like the god of this kingdom named Tudum. Tom something. Then that's relatively untouched in the middle of the town. But every other building, and you
Mr.
can
T.
see some of them have been like destroyed. There's not that many people out as you're walking, and those that you do see either like pull their hoods and like keep walking away from you, or they'll like pull their child inside the house and close the door as you walk by.
Do we pass by the villa that I've previously mortgaged?
I don't think so. I think you don't actually know where it is, so you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know if you did.
There is no villa anymore.
Hopefully, it's not one of those that's destroyed.
She's, I think, yeah, Ada has probably ingratiated herself with everyone, so I think she's kind of trying to hustle all the people she sees as major players. She knows there's good gossip coming out of Morrine, and the brother Wirt's from a whole nother kingdom, so she wants in on that deal. So she's kind of hustling, all like, let's go eat dinner with this guy, because I want to talk to you more. But also, I think as she's like walking along, dragging Ragaire, she's kind of mumbling like, "Oh, Ragaire, we have our work cut out for us." She's like looking at everything. Could I do like just a quick like I want to see if I can figure out more about what has caused this damage, because you mentioned gashes, which seems unusual, and
Yes.
I would like to use carpentry, one of my skills, to try
Okay.
and suss out this damage. Information about this
Nice.
damage.
Yeah. Let's see. You can certainly do that, and so you want to. What's your intent?
Not to fix anything. My intent
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
just to figure out figure out more information about what caused the damage. Like, obviously they're damaged, but can I figure out, like, this is unnatural. Wood wouldn't just break this way. Like, a caved-in roof makes sense. They've had heavy snowfall, but you mentioned gouges, which seemed unusual.
Yes. Okay, and then how are you going to do that? What's your task?
I think as she's walking by, she's like literally just going up to homes and like looking, like inspecting,
Like touching the wood.
Yeah, touching the wood. I mean, she's slowing people down. She's not moving at a quick pace, but she's kind of trudging along, like really trying to look closely. I think she's using her carpentry, but I think I want to try and fork in mending. Like she's also thinking about like having like fixed things before, like how could she fix this in the future, as well as like what would do this type of damage. Like she's seen what slashes do, you know.
Yeah. Let's see. I think that's not too hard. Probably maybe just like an ob 2, and you want to do carpentry?
Yeah, carpentry.
Yeah.
I will fork in mending as well as that's it. Anyone want to help?
I'll help. I feel like as she's pulling me along, I just kind of like stop at random intervals and stare at something that no one else can see.
Ada loves that quality about you. Ada is like, that elf just saw something. Gosh, that's amazing.
I'm like, look over there. And so I feel like my intent is to maybe direct Ada a little bit more in a focused way.
Are you saying she's not focused?
Never. Like she's like looking at the wrong thing and I'm like over there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I think I'll have to do.
So if you want to help, since I'm using a skill, you have to pick a skill that would be applicable to help
Observation.
with.
Would that work?
Perfect. Okay, amazing. Yeah, so I get 1d from that. Yeah, and I guess we'll
this
just run.
counts as a test for me too, right? For like challenging that kind of stuff. No. Yes, no.
Yeah, it does.
It
It
does
counts
count
as a
test,
carpentry
but it
Oh,
test for
perfect.
you.
Oh, great.
and since you don't have it even opened, it doesn't really matter.
It's not worth
Yeah.
it. Okay.
You
great.
can't
I
really
just
help
wanna
with learning a skill.
keep remembering to keep track.
Right.
Of
Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted to
those.
run through real quick the structure of the dice rolling in this. So we talked about you have an intent. Ada's intent is to figure out what this damage is. The task is how she's doing it, which is observe things closely with her carpentry skill. People can help you with related skills that they have, or you can do something called fork, which is where you fork in all of your fields of related knowledge, which are other skills that you have that relate to whatever you're doing. And that gives you a certain amount of dice, which you roll against an obstacle that the GM sets, which Logan did, which is 2, so ob 2. And successes on the dice rolls, which are d6s, are 4, 5, and 6 for us. They'll probably never change from that, so we'll cross that bridge when it gets there. So I will now roll my carpentry, and I have 1 die from help, 1 die from fork, so that's 2. And I'm not using any Artha, which we'll cover probably later. My base obstacle is 2. And I failed. Technically, Logan was also supposed to tell me what the consequence of failure would be. But that's fine.
Yes, I guess so. Do you
Alright,
want me
roll.
to do that beforehand or not? In the past, we had been like, sort of just, I can state it outright before you roll, or
I forgot if
not.
we decided on that.
It's
think
fine.
either or.
We'll do it without, and then if we might change it in the future. But okay. So yeah, I think sort of as you are going up, you are spending quite a bit of time just sort of looking at some of these marks. You're getting a little nosy. You're just like, like pulling off some cloth that's covering something, and then you like,
Oh yeah.
one of the doors you can see is a little loose, and you just sort of like, what's this? And you just open it, and there's a like small child on the other side, sort of taken aback by you entering
Oh,
or
don't mind
opening.
me, honey.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You can see she
Close that
after
door.
she sees you, she sort of like sees that you're new in town, and she sort of like scurries over, and she's like, um, "Are you new in town? Do you have any food? I'm really hungry. My mom hasn't come back yet. Do you have any food that you would be willing to give me?"
Oh, of course, sweetie. Yes. I have food. Maybe. I think I have traveling supplies. I mean, I definitely have a traveler's pack.
Okay, well, just if you're gonna give
I
her the
can
food,
roll
just
resources.
no, I don't think it's that big. Just note somewhere that you have given her something, and it'll count like against a resources thing at some point in the future.
Okay.
Um,
Give child food.
gave child food, and like it was like hardtack, and it wasn't great, but
Yeah,
she
it was not great.
takes
It was
it.
like hard bread and some dried fruits and nuts.
Oh boy, but she's not on it. She's like, "Wow, thanks, lady. This is really hard."
The name's Ada. I'm your new blacksmith. Forget about Anchor. He never existed. Actually,
I'm
speaking
your
of which,
new
do you
blacksmith.
know any secrets about Angar while we're here? Small child who I've just given food to.
Go ahead
What has
and
Angar been up to?
let's see. Maybe roll.
I have persuasion.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, trying to get some information out of her. Are you just gonna just ask her nicely? Maybe like give her a piece of the bread, and then be like, "Tell me more." Give her a little bit more. Okay, now what's about that? Give me some more.
100%, because I also have haggling, so I think we should be able to consider that haggling, and then I'll fork in persuasion.
Perfect. Okay. Yes. I would say
I'm haggling for
probably
information.
she's not a very old child, so she might not
That's
know
fine.
all that
Loose
much.
lips.
Yeah, loose lips. But it's going to be a little bit more difficult. I think this will be ob 3.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Do I? Yes,
can
I
help
do.
You. I can help you. Questionable.
Ragaire, awe this child for me.
I can sing.
No,
Pull out your
I
sword.
do. She's
Tell us
desperate.
or
She definitely wants this. Okay, haggling. I will fork in persuasion because I'm being nice, and then I'll also fork in a little bit of falsehood because I'm gonna be like, yeah, just keep talking, honey. Yeah, anything you've heard lately, your mom say anything about this Smith that's been in town for years now. And then, I mean, I've heard that he's not always a very nice man. She has nothing backing that up. She has no idea. So, I mean, she knows he's not a nice man from personal experience, but not about in this town. I heard that he might need to be, move on. He might need to move on. But you let me know if there's a reason he might need to move on. Maybe even to another plane of existence, but definitely another town.
Do you have help yet?
I don't.
Okay. I think maybe I've made my way over with my small child also, holding her hand. Like, while you're at it, I'm interested in Lord Strava, if you've heard anything about him.
Martina's watching us grill this child.
this little girl, she sees what's up. She holds out her hand. She's like, hardtack for answers.
She's playing us. She's got us wrapped around her middle finger.
Okay, so how are you gonna help with the
I'm
skills?
gonna help with soothing
skill.
platitudes. I'll be like, you must know so much about this city. You've grown up here. Your house is so lovely. I'm sure your parents take great care of you here and like all of that. Really butter her up for
Butter her
Ada.
up. She holds out her hard bread. You put some butter on it.
Yeah.
She's ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got the good stuff too. She's the rich one.
Yeah.
The high quality provisions off of her.
Her shack doesn't even leak.
Her shack don't even leak. That's like a strange new euphemism. Alrighty, so I will roll haggling with 2 forts and 1 help, so it's 3 extra die. No are the 3.
Yeah.
Nice.
So a success. 3 successes to up 3.
Yes. And so you might be wondering, if you've never played this game before, like how Sean can just pick a bunch of things to add to his roll to make it better. You can essentially do that as much as you want, but it makes the test easier, so he won't advance as fast as if he's doing things that are harder. So it's sort of a balance of he really wants to succeed on something versus he wants to get more difficult tests to advance it faster. That's how the balance plays out. But you do succeed. So she's sort of chewing on this bread. You come over, you give her a little bit more. She's like, oh, she's eating them both. And she's like, my mommy, she spends a lot of time with Mr. Smith. He seems to be, I don't know. They all have weird meetings at night sometimes. And I don't know. She leaves me here alone. She just puts me to sleep. But I just get up and I start playing. I really like, there's some candles. I light those. She leaves them around, but sometimes she takes them. I know Mr. Smith, he's really nice. He gives me some things. Sometimes he made me a toy made out of metal. It was 2 sticks welded together. It's my favorite thing I've ever received.
Well, don't you worry, honey. I'll make sure you get a better toy than you've ever seen. They call me Ada Toy Smith. That's it.
Perfect. And then at that point, Martine has sort of realized that you guys are not moving forward, and he sort of ushers you further along.
Ada pats her on the head, yeah.
As you get to his abode, and he sort of opens it. You all enter. You can see it's pretty homely, not super nice, but it looks better than like, that squalor that lady, that little girl was living in with her little 2 welded sticks that she was spinning around on the floor. He has a sort of a nice table that's sort of being set by one of his helpers, I guess. He doesn't have servants, but maybe one of his children or something. I don't know. They're setting it with a meal of just scrumptious things like bread. There's like some frozen gourd that doesn't look like it was harvested. They just found it in the snow and they made a soup out of it. But it doesn't look revolting, and it's a warm meal, which is not something you've had in a while. So he's sort of like helping you all get sort of settled, but you can see he's quite shaky, and as you all sort of like gather around the table, you can tell that he's definitely hiding something. It's
I think
quite obvious at like even a glance.
before we start the meal, Wirt will stand and bid everybody sit quietly, hands on the table, and start a long-winded prayer over dinner and how the food and be blessed and God will give us life through this food, and through this life we will give God service.
I'll interrupt this whole sermon. I'll just be like, so, Martine, the hunting doesn't seem to be very good this winter, huh?
It's fine, I assure you. We are just thriving here in town, and the hunting's great. Why would you mention that?
Oh, you just don't have any meat on the table, and being the Wocht, I thought you would have access to that.
If you want meat, we could get the meat. And he sort of like grabs the shoulder of the person who was setting tables, like, the lady wants meat. Get her some. And then Martine sort of turns back to you. You can see the person he instructed to go get it is just like, meat. And then they just like meat, gotta go get meat. And they leave the house. Like, there's not meat in the kitchen. They're gonna go get it from somewhere, maybe. he's like, we have meat. It'll be here. So it's being prepared.
I see.
Anyway, you were some foreign god. Now, please continue. I want to hear more about how you do that. Please continue.
Has already started like eating little bits of food.
Wirt's gonna like look around the table, see that nobody is even a little bit interested, and he's gotten his fill of persuasion. So just amen. And then like if he's not sitting next to Martine, I imagine he tries to like cajole somebody out of their seat so he can sit next to him. And he'll like lean over and whisper, "Even as the watched, it's no great shame to be of poor means. This is, trying times for everyone. You don't need to hide your shame from the rest of us."
No, I assure you that the lady, she wanted meat. I'm a vegetarian personally, so I didn't have the meat. But if she wants it, we're getting it. I don't know why you all think that there's nothing wrong in Hochen. There's
Did
no
you hear that,
trouble in
Ragaire?
Hochen.
Suddenly Hoken's vegetarian. Now that's some news if I ever heard it.
Breaking news!
I assure you, that is the news. It's all new. Vegetarian only.
Okay.
You can see some like beads of sweat, or like he like.
I think Ragaire is just gonna stand up, not say anything, and go out to follow that person. And like maybe Ada is like, "Oh, he had to go to the bathroom," but I don't say anything. I'm just like I leave the table, maybe having taken like 3 sips of soup, and then I'm just gonna investigate like the house and maybe entail that person who's going to find meat, or like see if I can overhear a conversation. So I guess follow other people.
Yeah, I mean, you exit the door that person went through. It was to the outside, and you see them literally like pacing literally right outside. They're just like, meat? I don't know where he wants me to get meat. And he looks up, sort of sees you, and is like, oh, I'm just getting the meat.
I think Ragaire will like awkwardly pat him on the back and be like, "Follow me." And then he's going to forage for some meat for the table and like come back with, I don't know, a rabbit or something if he can, to get this guy out of a bind.
Yeah. Okay. So your intent is to find meat?
Yes.
And your task is via hunting?
Or if I have foraging, I don't know if that
I don't know if
counts.
you can forage for meat.
Can you
I think that's
forage
more
meat?
of like a.
What if it's frozen
like-
and died?
Okay, maybe.
Roadkill.
Yes. Okay. I think it'll be difficult, to say the least. I think the base
How difficult is difficult?
to do it with any reasonable amount of time. In any reasonable amount of time, which maybe you don't want to do that. Like, the meal can take 4 days. Yeah. I think it'll be base ob 4. However, it is now nighttime and it is dark out. So obs are going to get. Oh, what does that let you do?
Oh, let me tell you. While I
Please
go into my traits, my massive traits list. +1d to all perception and observation based range and cover moves, or any perception test for long distances. Dark. I can't remember if it's dim or dark. Let me look that up.
Well, the
Doesn't
difference
apply to me.
between candlelight is +2 ob and darkness is +3 ob.
Wow.
Okay. Hold on.
I mean, but you can get, like, you can just have a lantern and that negates it, but you can't really.
Elves may see in starlight as if it were day.
Oh, great. This doesn't
They
affect
suffer
you,
no
then.
ob penalty for dim light.
Great. You're like This is daytime to me. Why can't you see? Why are you tripping over things? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like pulling this guy along, and he's just stumbling over everything.
Yep. Okay. I still think it'll be ob 4 base though, but there's no additional ob for the dim lighting. If you use foraging, it'll not be fresh meat.
That's fine. I don't think they care. Yeah, I'll do for it. I'll go for it. Can I fork in observation?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's a stat into a stat. So yeah.
Yeah, into a stat. I would also say roadwise, but I don't really know what roadwise means. Like knowing the roads?
No, I don't think that one.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'll do.
I gotta start off
foraging.
not being too generous so we don't get crazy.
Don't be too generous. It's fine. Okay, so I have 4 dice for a 4 op.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
Hey, that's a good roll. That's a good test for you. That consequence might not be.
It's fine. We're all fine here. Base ob 4. It's gonna be great.
Ooh,
so
close.
So close. We forget.
You have a
Sarah.
6. You have a 6.
Oh, I can reroll.
So you could spend a
1d6?
fate to re-roll
You could
that
spend a-
6. And if it is a 4, 5, or 6, you would get another success, which would make you succeed.
Mhm.
But I only have.
But you only have 2 fate. Yeah.
2 fate points. I'm not gonna spend a fate point on this.
Okay.
That's fine.
Perfect. Well, I think that instead of just not finding meat, I think you find sort of like the trail of some, like maybe some rabbit was hopping through the snow. You don't know how long ago, but you're like, I'm on the track. And you spend a great deal of time out here. Like, I don't think you'll be back until like the end of dinner.
That's totally fine.
And this
I wasn't
this-
gonna eat it anyway.
this person that's following you is just sort of like, I really think we should go back now. And you're like, no, we are on the trail. We do not return.
We're close.
We're close.
He's like, I saw these tracks 2 days ago and I don't think I'm gonna find them.
I just glare at him.
Perfect. So you are excused for the moment. So we'll return back to the awkwardly silent dinner table. There's just like some noise of utensils on.
No. It's not awkwardly silent when Ada's there.
It's awkwardly loud.
It's awkwardly loud. There's gossip and there's gossip
think-
digging.
Ragaire was sitting closer to Martine than you, so now there's an empty seat next to him on the
I
other side.
scoot on over. I scoot on and I say, "Oh, don't worry about Ragaire. He just likes to go wander off sometimes. You know, it's some people just have the compulsion. You can't stop them." So now I was like, "Did you hear about Osserin the other day? Those that town has had some major troubles lately, and you know, I've noticed that things are looking maybe a little rough around here, Martine, and I mean that in no offense at all. The world is a rough place and we all need the help that we can get. So I was wondering if you knew a little bit about what had been happening lately. Anything strange out and about, Martine?
Go ahead. And are you wanting to persuade him?
Sure, I would love to persuade.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Let's make this a versus roll just for fun. So
Just for fun.
just for fun.
Okay. Okay, so I will persuade and I will fork in. I ain't got much. Anybody want to help?
I'll help you. I'm.
Anybody want to help me
Sorry,
gang
I'm
up on
chasing
this?
a rabbit.
Well, you can help if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'll help with soothing platitudes. And just kind of reassure Martine that, like, really, it's everybody's having a hard time right now. Honestly, you're doing great. Like, look at the place down the road; they're doing even worse. They got like 3 gashes per house. You've only got 1.5 on average. And just like try and make his situation seem a little bit more high class than it is.
I want to see. I wish I could fork in something else. Let's see. Let's fork in falsehood. Let's start spreading lies like the gossip hound I am.
I mean, you basically are lying. Osram is not worse, right?
Oh, I mean, I made it up, so she could be also struggling. But I think she'll purposefully put a little extra heat on him because what's your husband's name again?
Alden?
Alden is here.
Yeah.
So she's like, things are going bad. We want to help. You can tell us about it. And Alden has been tasked with looking into things. I mean, we could maybe put in a good word for you, or I mean, it seems like the kingdom's trying to crack down on the outer reaches. So I think you better be careful what you let go on in your town, Mr. Woached. Does that count? Can I use that?
Yeah, that counts.
Okay. So that would put me at persuasion with 4 dice. You want me to roll first because I'm the aggressor?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sure. I'll put in obs 0, I guess. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh no.
What are my rolls?
Really bad.
Okay, so he is going to counter that with a falsehood. So he has 3 dice, and then he's gonna fork in village-wise. Because he's like, Ostrin, I don't know if I've heard of Ostrin. I don't know if that exists. Did you just make that up?
No.
And then
Traveling blacksmith.
you talked about them cracking down, so he's also gonna fork in rule of law because he knows about that as well. Okay, so he's gonna roll 5 dice.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah.
5 dice.
That's a good
though,
persuasion
that.
test for you, though, right?
That was a great persuasion test. I mean, yeah, it was
Yeah, that
challenging.
becomes challenging, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now
that counts for you too, Connor.
Yes. Just to clarify, that counts as my.
Persuasion.
I guess I have a persuasion of 4, so regardless, it would be a challenging test.
Yep.
Okay.
Because it's
great.
4 into a 5 for you.
Yep. But if we'll say my persuasion was lower than yours, Sean, would it be for your level of challenge or my level of challenge?
Your level of challenge.
Okay, that makes sense.
Always helping you out. It's actually 4 into a 4, so that might only be a difficult test. Because it's a versus test, they're a little weird because the obstacles, however many successes he rolls. So it is challenging for me because my persuasion's crap. But
for
I
me,
think,
not challenge.
Yeah, it might just be difficult instead of challenging. But there's a handy little chart somewhere that can help us with that.
Yeah.
So
That's
if you're
fine.
ever confused, just make a note and we can look at it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure it out.
Yeah, so you start sort of hounding him, pressing him for this information, and he's a pretty savvy talker himself, and so he's sort of like avoiding your questions and your sort of accusations, and then at some point he's like he begins, like, he takes something that you said. You're like, oh yeah, I was over in Austin looking for something, like you just mentioned sort of offhanded like something about an artifact somewhere, and he's sort of like, oh, I think we have an artifact. He just says something like, oh, I think we have an artifact somewhere around here, and then you just immediately forget. what
An
he was saying before.
artifact.
Yeah. And he sort of begins he's just answering you. Everyone else can tell he is just lying the whole time. Ada's asking him questions, he's giving it, but she's sort of just unable to get any information out of him because
she's one-track mind.
Yep.
Definitely.
I think after a while of this,
it goes on for a while, probably.
I'll try to shut down. Like, wow, that meat sure is taking a long time. Martine, you were supposed to be waiting for us and be expecting us, and I really expected more of a welcome. And frankly, I'm quite disappointed in the pleasantries here, and I would like to roll something to get him. My intent is to get him to leave to fix it himself, so that we can so he's out of the picture just for a little bit.
Okay.
I
think that would either be
Sorry,
maybe like an
your man just
intimidation.
kidding.
Or
Intimidation.
persuasion.
I'll do intimidation, and I'll fork in etiquette.
Okay. I think it'll be an op for intimidation.
Okay. Yep. I'll fork in etiquette, and I'll fork in command, and just be like, really, Martine, if your children can't do it, at the very least, I'd expect you to do it yourself.
You motion to Odelia, and you're like, I would expect her to get that.
Okay, so that's 2 forks. 3, you said?
4.
4, okay.
Do you want help?
I mean, if you want to.
I don't know if Ada can help for this because she is currently.
Okay, I'll roll it.
Okay,
then.
that's fair. She's ignoring this and is still asking questions.
Okay. 6. I'll re-roll that.
So I think on your character
fate
sheet,
of the game.
You can up next to fate. You can click fate. It'll say
remaining
one more op
remaining,
one. And then
dice 1. Damn it.
Okay, so I think you're sort of telling him sort of how bad this welcome was.
I'm condescending him, yeah.
Condescending him. And I think it's sort of a little bit, almost a little bit over the line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Alden is just maybe puts a hand on your shoulder and is like, Morrine, don't come at this man. Just, we're leaving in the morning. It'll be fine. Just let it go. Don't get involved. I think your friend here is really interested in asking him more questions. And so Alden doesn't like confrontation. So he sort of shuts that down for you. And he also states outright that you guys will be leaving in the morning. Okay. And then with that, dinner sort of comes to a close, and then back in the door comes Ragaire with this person following him. Ragaire triumphantly holds up a frozen squirrel that was already emaciated, and something else killed it and has ate most of it.
But
Ragaire, good job.
The person's like, we got the meat. And then they go and sit down at their plate that's probably empty, and maybe Ada's ate off of it. They just sort of...
She's a hungry lass.
Totally.
Yeah. And you re-enter the scene. And then Martine sort of is like, well, you can all stay here for the night, and then you can head out in the morning. You were gonna leave anyway, so I won't keep you, but
Well, Martine, we actually have a reservation at 32 Cedar Way, so I'd appreciate an escort to that estate.
Okay. He will offer people to stay here, but you have this other place, so you can go there for the night. he will take everyone to a room if they want, and then he'll take you over to your rightly purchased house, shack on Leaky.
It's a villa /
Now,
farm.
do I
It's
want my
pretty
leaky
nice.
shack?
Yeah, I think
I'll
Wirt,
accept the room for now.
Wirt
At
is
this
going
point,
to
yeah.
make his way to the abbey for the night.
Okay.
It
It
even
is
if it is.
very late and very cold.
If it's more than an hour and a half walk, he won't. But even if it is a trudge, he would go.
I think it's probably... It's not that far. I think it's probably like 30 minutes during the day.
So 45 going slow at night. Sure, no, he'll make that trek.
Okay. And then Ragaire and Ada.
I'll stay the night. I feel like, for me at least, I want to observe everyone. These funny little
we'll
people.
Stay. Ada gives Ragaire a couple winks. It's like, so well, she whispers and she's like, midnight scouting party. The secret knock is 1121.
Ragaire is like,
Right.
I already know who it is. I can hear your footsteps 2 halls away, but okay. He's like, he just nods.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. And so everyone will go to their areas. So he'll take you up to your rooms. He'll take you, Morrine, over to your house. What exactly did you buy?
I bought a villa or a farm, but I want it to be a villa.
Okay.
And I would like it. I sent ahead a letter with my purchasing of this house for somebody to furnish it.
Mm-hmm.
Get some pretty nice stuff, put up some artwork, make it cozy.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure the fireplace is on the night of this day that we're going to be there.
Yeah, I think you get there and it is well furnished. Almost too furnished. It looks like someone decorated it.
Great.
Decorated. Capital D.
Capital D decorated.
You see, when you get there, there's a sign that was said out front. It was the Novak residence, and that's been scratched out. And then your name, Beaumont, has been put sort of on a hammer.
No, don't want that.
Okay, and then it does take you a while, but you can make it to the abbey for the night. You get there, it's dark, but it's not midnight, so you get there late. And so we'll close out that scene as you all sort of go about your own way. So now it's sort of free play. If anyone wants a scene, they can have one, or if no one has something that they want to do, I'll just present you with a new opportunity.
Okay.
I feel like I definitely want to do a scout around the village to see if I can locate one of my relationships, and also to see if I can find any traces of my liege lord's son, whose last was heard of in this location.
Okay.
So just kind of intent, see if I can find traces of the people I know. Task through scouting around.
Okay. Is that something? Are you going to do it sort of right away, or do it later into the night?
I think later into the night. I'll wait until it sounds like Martine has gone to sleep. The household is supposedly asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm well, if there's anybody else out at this time of night, that's also suspicious. So that'll be good to know.
Okay. Perfect. Do either of you want to have a scene sort of at your place? Because I feel like Ada's about to get roped into this scouting party.
I can't
Ada's
decide
just
if
been
Ada's
sleeping
like
at my door.
roaring, snoring like through the entire house, or if like she's gonna be in on the sneak party. I haven't quite decided yet. So
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like to speak to Willow at some point tonight. Make my kind of reintroductions to the Abbey and get caught up with all of the other Abbey staff.
Yes. And have you been here to this abbey before, or are you getting here for the first time?
I would say I've definitely been here before. Probably had lived here for a time before making my excursions out elsewhere, and just am now returning.
Okay. So you get there. Yeah, we can sort of dive into that. So you get to the edge of this abbey. It is a pretty large building. It's sort of been built up over time. It's not like grand, but it is quite nice. You can see last you were here, there was like some lush farms that were sort of like they would grow wine and then I guess they would grow grapes and then they would make wine, and there was like some livestock. All of that seems to be not great. All of the fields are sort of dead. Grapes don't grow in the winter anyway, but they're not. It doesn't even look like the plants are out there and they're dead. It looks like there was nothing planted to grow.
Trellises are in disrepair and that kind of thing.
Yeah. But the you sort of like does the door lock or do you just open it? I don't know how abbeys work. You enter.
Abbey is just unlocked, and hey, if you need to,
you knock and like a little sliding door opens, and then they're like, "Oh, Brother Wirt," and then they close it and they open it, and then you come in, and they're sort of like happy to see you. They're like, "Oh, we didn't expect you to be here. Are you? It's so late. Why are you arriving at nighttime? Well, we'll get some dinner. You must be starving." And they
not starving, just cold, please, a fire. The warmest.
They sort of like drag you into the sort of the main room where there is a sort of a roaring fire, and there's how many people do you imagine live at the
more than a dozen?
Yeah. Okay. I'd say like right here, there's probably like 3 or so that are still up. One of them was like already stoking the fire, and their face lights up when they see you. They all recognize you. They having a sort of a catch up chat, but then one of them sort of like on a more serious note is like, I assume you're here to see Willow. Do you
Of course.
She's quite ill. I don't know if you know that.
If she's resting, then please don't disturb her, but I would like to speak with her.
She's asleep. We can wake her if you want to see her. I know she would love to see you, but
I'll speak with her in the morning. That's
okay.
She needs her rest.
Yeah, she is. So your sister is sick. I think she is definitely asleep at the moment. But they sort of catch you up to speed on sort of how she fell ill. They're not all too certain. It's not like anyone else was sick. She's been sick for a number of months, maybe like the better half of this year. And she's wasn't doing well, but she's recently took a turn for the worse. And they sort of catch you up to speed on that. And at this point, she sort of is in bed most of the day. She does try and get out once at least, but recently she can't even do that some days. So she's not doing great, but it's not like she's literally dying tomorrow.
Right.
It's at least next month.
Thanks. At least next month. I'm just not
next month.
That's great.
Yeah. So I guess that wasn't. If you want something, you can sort of.
I think I just want to get the lay of the land from the Abbey clergy. How are things going in town? Obviously, the fields are not doing well. What sort of state is everyone in, and what can I do to assist that? What kind of aid can I provide?
Yeah. I don't think it'll be all that hard for them to sort of bring you up to speed. I'd say maybe is gossip a skill or is that just a trait?
I'm not sure.
It's just a
But here, if you're looking for a skill, then perhaps maybe I ask to look through the ledgers and just to keep track of, what shipments and things did we get? How much were we giving out in alms and that sort of thing. So I have accounting and administration both. I think either of those would be appropriate.
Yeah, I would say maybe administration, and we'll do like an ob 2 to sort of bring yourself up to speed on the state of the abbey.
Okay.
By looking through their ledgers.
Sure. Can I fork in accounting with that?
Yeah, 100%.
Great. I will go ahead and roll administration then. No Artha. We said this is an ob 2.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oh no.
They just haven't been taking notes.
They Ooh, let's see.
They've been so in crisis.
They ran out of ink months ago.
Yeah, I think they they don't. So we'll make this a little more interesting. You're sort of looking for alms giving, like that sort of is a representation of like sort of how well the town is doing. And you notice about 3 months ago, there was a sudden zeroing of almsgiving. Like it was not really high before then, but about 2 months ago, and it was like literally just on a day, it went from normal to the next time they counted it, it was nothing. And there was no one giving any alms to this abbey anymore, which is unusual. But that you ask about it and they're just like, oh, yeah, people just sort of stopped coming by. But they don't really have an answer for you.
Wirt's gonna just kind of stroke his chin a little bit and just puzzle over this and say some quippy phrase and
some long-winded parables about the saints.
Yes, well, thank you, sister, and hands both back.
Okay. Anything else you wanted out of that?
Not in particular. Not if my
Okay.
sister's asleep for the night.
She is asleep. So let's hop over. Did you want to do something, Abby?
Yes, please.
What did you want? So I guess, what scene do you want?
It's gonna be with Alden. So I'm gonna put Odelia to bed. There's
Yes.
maybe like a little child-sized bed, and she has her own room in this little house.
There's a whole kid's room that's furnished, and you can
Mhm.
see a lot of the toys have like another child's name on it that have just been like replaced with Odelia's name.
Fantastic. Put her to bed. Tuck her in, make sure she goes to sleep, and all is good. Like, make sure her room is warm enough, and then once that's all settled, go down to where I assume the fireplace is. And there's like a couch or multiple couches, it sounds like.
No, not multiple, just one.
Okay, there's one couch.
But Alden's down there sort of going through that bag of stuff that he was given by Martine.
Yeah.
Sort of like trying to count it all up and see exactly what it is.
Does he seem upset about it, or does it seem fine?
He seems fine.
Okay.
Sort of looks up at you as you enter the room. He's like, does she like her new room?
Yeah, she seemed to like it. There's lots of toys up there, and it's all new.
Not her new room. He says,
no, yeah,
does she
then
like the room she's staying
Yeah. I think maybe I pull out like a checkers board. Maybe Alden loves playing checkers.
Yes. He likes chess, but you're not as good at chess as him, so he plays checkers with you.
Oh, well then I pull out a chess board, which is the same as a checkers board.
Actually, you're probably good at chess as well, because he's not a very...
Well, whichever he likes more, whichever he's better at.
Chess, yes.
Trying to butter him
likes
up.
Go.
Oh.
Thought he was more of a shoji.
It's hard to
man
travel with a go board.
He likes to
Yeah.
play mahjong.
Mhm. Yep,
Exactly.
Pull out a game and be like, Alden, I brought your favorite game board along. I thought maybe we could wrap up the night by playing a game and having a little chat, you and I.
Sure, I'd love to. I just finished counting this amount. It's the strangest thing. This isn't the normal way that you're supposed to give tax, but I looked through all the books and it's technically allowed, so I have to accept it. But
Is it?
Seems so
It's
strange.
sufficient.
yeah,
That's good.
yeah. So it's great.
Unexpected.
We can just head out in the morning and we have everything we need.
Well, look here. Let me. I'm setting up this game. Alden, I spoke with your supervisor, and they know that the trip up here can take a long time. And I think, it wouldn't be unheard of if we were held up here just a little bit. I know Lord Stravit, I think seems to be not doing so well, so maybe you could offer some aid to him. And obviously the Woach is very incompetent. They are not on top of their stuff.
I mean, he did have the meat, but I don't know if I would go so far as to say incompetent.
Alden.
I mean, look at this. He has all 3 years of tax. He had it ready to go.
In assorted currency, something is up. I know you could tell. You just don't like conflict, but you know that there's something going on here.
I mean, yes, it is unusual to try to pay tax with nothing but garden tools, but we have to accept them, so...
Gold-plated garden tools.
Look, all
He
I'm
holds up a
saying,
trowel. He's like,
Yeah.
it's very nice quality.
all I'm saying is that you won't be missed for even a month. There's a big snow, and we got snowed in here, and we can't leave. Look how nice this place is. We'll be comfortable here. We haven't even gone on vacation since we got married. I think it would be nice to have some one-on-one time. Plus Odelia, but...
She's an afterthought, that one. Okay. What is...
I
your
want to
tax?
persuade him to stay here for the time being.
Okay.
Like, basically convince him that he's not going to be missed back at home. Stuff can be done here that could maybe rise him up in the ranks. Like, he could get some, stars on his marks.
Mm-hmm.
I want to persuade him with... What's my op?
I would say if your intent is to get him to stay a while longer, like
Mhm.
we're talking 3 days,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would be undoable. I think like
Okay,
that would just
okay,
be,
okay.
like 2 or 3 ob to not leave in the morning.
Yeah. Sure, that sounds great.
Okay.
Ob 3. Rolling persuasion. I want to fork in husband-wise.
okay.
Bureaucracy
Okay.
and soothing platitudes.
Okay. I think all of those work with your
Okay.
spiel earlier.
Ob 3. Come on. Did it go? Oh!
Hey.
Nice. Yeah. So he's like, well, there does seem to be something happening, but we can meet with the Woach tomorrow. We can sort of see what's up. I don't think we should stay too long. This isn't a great place for a daily. It's so cold. Have you seen these children running around out there? I saw one gnawing on sawdust that your friend gave her. It was not great.
But Odelia has better than sawdust. That's not gonna happen to us.
I'm not saying it'll happen in the next 3 days.
Can I spend my extra success to get more days?
Extra days?
Yeah.
Sure, you can have 4 days.
4 days, okay.
Does he he know that have you bought this house? Like, does he know that?
Oh yeah, I've bought this
Under
house,
your
but he
name?
doesn't know that.
He doesn't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
As she walked up, she just like covered the name that was now. She's like, "Oh,
Flip that
right,
around.
Look over there." Yeah. Okay. So he agrees that you can stay
Perfect.
4 days. He sets a timer. Okay. Anything else?
Not for me.
Not for you. Okay. The Wonder Crew over here.
Yes.
No words and too many words.
Exactly.
The best time to get gossip is at night when everyone's sleeping. Because no one can tell you you're wrong. Okay.
Do you want to come with me?
Ada wants to come with you, but Ada does not know what your goals are, I think, and she knows what her goals are.
Well, you heard me say that I'm looking for Calthea.
Oh, I did hear you say that.
You did
Yes.
say that.
I think you
Calthea
hear.
is a girl's name, so I don't know if that adds to your intrigue or not.
Yeah, I don't know if she would know that.
Okay.
Does this is actually an important question? Does the group know you're an elf yet?
I think I probably have tried to not make it obvious. I don't know how that works for
You are
Ragaire.
born under the silver stars, so you
But I'm-
literally glow.
Don't you glow?
I do
You sparkle in the light.
I like put dirt on my face. I like wear a hood, but I think it is obvious. Probably.
Do you have inconspicuous?
No. What is, as a trait?
Go
It's a
ahead
skill.
and make an op 4 inconspicuous.
Oh, what do I roll for that?
Well, you have to open
You
it.
don't have it, so you have to open
Open it.
inconspicuous.
This is sort
but
of
here's
what
what's
I'm
gonna
doing.
happen.
This is being learned. Okay. New
Yeah.
skill,
This is-
inconspicuous.
Logan.
Yeah.
It's gonna count as an advancement for her skill, her stat, not her skill, because you made it such a high op.
What?
Oh Lord.
You're
Doing both
opening-
side doesn't work.
If you're opening a new skill
Uh-huh.
and the ob for the skill is a challenging or difficult test for the root stat of the skill, then it counts towards the skills or the stats advancement, not the skills. Before doubling. Just a little PSA.
Great.
I'm
So
sure
we'll
the
do
fans
3.
at home really understood what I just said.
Does a 3 change that?
Probably.
Okay, great.
What is root stat for inconspicuous? It's probably
Probably
perception
Maybe.
or will. Or is it a combo? I'm looking. I'm on
Oh
my
my
way down the
Whatever it
list.
is, I roll half of the stat, right? That's how
It's
that works.
will.
It's will. Okay. So
No.
my,
Your
So
will
you
is like
roll a
6.
will
So
roll. Yeah,
My
so
ro-
then it'll be definitely good.
Oh, well then let's
You
make
roll-
it 4.
yeah.
Okay, well it
Okay.
becomes ob 8 for you. Because of beginner's luck.
I just wanted to open a skill, but there's not really going to be any consequences. So just
Okay.
roll your dice.
Okay. So I'm rolling will. I have no helps or advantages.
So when you open it, though, it's you roll double, or do you?
No.
Not? You roll normal.
Mhm.
The ob is doubled.
Mhm.
Yes.
The ob is
I roll double. So
yes.
base obstacle is 8. We said,
Yeah.
because beginner's luck.
I think it'll do it for you. So you just put in 4.
You have to put
Oh,
it
you
in
think
being learned,
You put
Sarah,
it
which
inside
is
of being
below
learned.
your skills.
I was rolling will. Okay, I did put
As
it in
we
being.
learn this.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. So you add inconspicuous.
Perception. I got
Yeah.
it. Will collect. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, we're getting there, guys.
Yeah.
This is an
So
important
base
thing because we're
ob
going to be doing it a
4,
lot.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna see if it
It will
does
double it, yeah.
automatically.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Additional ob we're not gonna do.
And
Great.
then you
No success.
you do want to put a check mark in the aptitude area.
Just one.
Yeah, just one.
Just run.
Okay, yeah. So, Ragaire hasn't told you that they're an elf, but it is very obvious.
I haven't been around
blowing
humans,
gave
so
it
I think
away.
I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, you think that you are being a good person, a good human.
Good human.
But you're not at all.
A good managed stock.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. That's why Ada is glued to your side because she wants all those elven beats. She'd heard rumors too about a wandering exiled elf, which was unusual. But
Yeah, I think we
Yeah.
decided elves are unusual in human lands, so like it's pretty strange.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
pretty hot
strange.
gossip.
Yeah,
and
you're
she's
pretty.
getting
Yeah.
the deets straight from the source. Okay.
So
yeah,
you're coming
I'll
with.
join Ragaire.
Okay. So I think Ragaire sort of goes to wake up Ada.
Yeah, Ada forgot about their plan
Mhm.
and is snoring so loud.
Let's see. Who probably Ragaire? Go ahead and roll an observation, and it's going to be a versus test for something.
I don't remember how to do that. Okay, observation.
Do you have it open?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I do have it.
Okay.
No helps, forks, or advantages.
No, Ada's just waking up.
Okay.
You could fork, maybe.
Yeah, but Ada won't be able to help, but you could fork, maybe.
Stealthy?
No, you're not being stealthy.
I'm not being stealthy.
This is what. Okay, this is what I'm gonna tell you. You are. There's two people that are sort of like moving through the streets outside, and they're trying to be inconspicuous, and you're trying to see through that. That's the situation.
Got it. That's fine. I don't think I have anything else to work in with that. Okay. Base obstacle if it's a versus test.
I guess I'll have them roll first because they're sort of
And then I'll
trying to
put the
counter.
in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So they only have 3 inconspicuous. So they got 2.
Okay. Base ob 2. Oh.
Nice. Yeah. So you see these people, they just look a little out of place. A little too out of place. They're moving quick. They have hoods up. It is late at night. No one needs to be out. And you see they are headed towards the little, like the longhouse, which is that big building in the center of town. And you're like, and you look and you see that there are you have your good elf eyes. You can see there are curtains drawn, but you can see a little bit of light coming from one of the windows in the longhouse as these people make their way there.
Perfect. We will go to there. I feel like I like go up to Ada and I feel like I wait for a little bit because I'm like, obviously she'll wake up. She knows that I'm here. Like she would sense my presence. She's out.
She's out like a light.
Mm-hmm. If she like talks in her sleep, she's like, "Gotta wake up, gotta talk."
And he like pokes her with the edge of her sword, like still in the sheath. But he's like, Ada.
What? Ada like comes to and she like immediately starts like grasping around her, like finds her hammer and kind of grabs it and is like, what? Oh, Ragaire, yes, stealth time. We're on the hunt.
And Ragaire's like, something's going on over there. Come with me.
Of course, something's always going on, Ragaire. That's the trick.
We're good. And he's like, Ragaire's like, questionable decision.
Ada is already up and ready, like getting ready. Like she actually, I think she slept in most of her clothes. Like she knew she was going to
She
be
was
on the hunt.
ready to go. She just wasn't.
She was
at
ready.
all
to
ready
up.
to go.
She didn't realize how tired she was. It's okay. It happens.
Ragaire proceeds to jump out the window and expects Ada to follow him.
You can't just jump out of windows.
He's like, I'll catch you.
Ada is not a small woman by any means. She's got some meat
Totally
on her
fine.
bones.
It's totally fine. Ragaire has
Okay.
superhuman elf reflexes. Or I can throw you some gear.
No, Ragaire, I'm going out the front door.
Ragaire just shrugs and he's like, okay.
Okay. So, yes, I will tiptoe. Ada will tiptoe downstairs and exit into the street.
There's no one like awake in the house. There's no one sleeping in front
Okay.
of doors. You can exit the house.
Okay. Cool. So she does that. She ends up on the street with
For you, it is
Ragaire.
near pitch black out. And
It's
very
pretty dark
cold.
out.
And very icy.
She's like, oh.
Ragaire, where are you?
I mean, I'm sure she has a lantern. So, question is, would she use it? I think not. She's letting Ragaire take the lead. She's like, Ragaire, you're my eyes. And probably my ears. It's very cold. I can't feel anything. Let's go.
I assume I just like take her hand and lead her down the street to
Yeah.
where these lights are, to spy on whoever it is and what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, you could make it to the building. No
Easily.
problem. Yeah.
Okay. So I just lead her on so she doesn't trip and fall and blow her cover.
So you guys, she's
Arrive.
sort of slippery. She's sort of sliding. You're grabbing her, leading her down the road.
I just put her in front of me and I push her so she slides across the cave.
She's got like that like surfer sort of stance going on, like wide arms out. Oh. Yeah, good job, Ragaire. Yeah, just
Perfect. And you guys get to the vicinity of this longhouse. Up this close, you can see that there definitely are like curtains drawn. They want it to look like there's nothing happening.
Is it like a 2-story building, a 1-story
No,
building?
it's just a large 1-story building. There's 2 entrances, sort of like the main one and then a side door.
I want to use a spell song. And I want to use Air of Gates, which lets me ask what lies beyond. So I guess I don't know if I have to do that at the window or at like the main door, but I can go to any gate and ask what lies beyond and get
Okay.
details on it.
Okay. I feel like you do need to be at the door. And you're
Okay.
I think you're also singing.
What is the song?
So it might
Hold
not be
on.
quiet, but I don't know the specifics of this.
You're right. No, I definitely sing. I sing to a door or gate. All right. Ixnay that plan then.
Okay. I think if you weren't trying to do it quietly, it would work.
It would work.
It would work.
Let's just sneak under the window and see if we can like hear what
Are
they're
you
saying.
stealthy? Yeah, I'll help you stealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's less about being stealthy and more about being able to perceive. So I think like no one's outside, so like you can walk around this place with impunity, but it's like how much can you gather of what's going on inside, I think will be a perception rather than a stealth, if that makes sense.
That's fine.
Okay.
Can I do it carefully and get an extra die?
You certainly can.
Um,
Do you want to know the Ob first.
Yes,
Should
tell me
probably
the
know
op.
the
That's true. That's true.
Ob 2.
Okay, then I don't need to do it carefully. I take it all back.
I still want to help.
You still
I
wanna
want to
help?
be a part
Okay.
of things.
Okay.
Okay, what are you helping
It's
me
Ob 2. If you fail, you're spotted by someone with an.
Okay.
What am I gonna help with? I'm gonna help with I mean, I can just help with perception if I feel
Okay.
like it. Not like it's useful to either of us, but
Okay. Yeah. So just Ob 2 perception with help.
Whew.
Nice. Okay. Rolling, what was that? 7 dice for Ob 2? Nice.
you really gotta hedge your bets in this game, so I don't feel bad.
I know, like it can go either way so fast. Okay. So you find there's like maybe a window was cracked a little bit. No, it's really cold out. Maybe there's like a little vent or something. And you're just like, let me listen. You hear there is, and it's easy to hear because they're not being very quiet about it. You can tell there's some energy on the other side, inside of this place, and you can tell there's a great deal of people. And they seem to be in the middle of an argument of sorts. You hear people calling out that these interlopers and these interferers, they're only going to bring more like damage to our town. And then another side's like, but Martine says we need to they'll leave. We just need to let them pretend and then they'll go. And then another voice will be like, no, like Martine he's failing. He's not doing great. And then you hear a calm voice that I think perks up your ears, Ada. It's a very deep man's voice. One
I know that
Angar
voice
Smith.
anywhere.
Yeah, you would know this voice anywhere. He says, and people, like, as he speaks, you can tell other people stop talking. Like, he seems to command a deal of respect from what you can tell listening through this vent. But he's like, I agree. The watched, he's let us down. I say, we march and we get these interlopers. I think Tawawat demands a sacrifice, and then she will alleviate all of our problems. And people start cheering.
Run that word by me again.
Tawarat.
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 Okay, don't like that.
With a capital T.
With a capital
That's
T.
not the name of the main god, right?
No, that's too dumb. Not too dumb. Tadum. He's not too dumb. He's Tadum.
He's Tadum.
Yeah, I without a roll, you guys have never heard of this name. It doesn't mean anything to you. But they start sort of cheering that yes, Tawarat, she will send aid. They just need to pray harder to her and offer her a sacrifice.
Do they say like when they're gonna get us, or it's
They're
just
sort
like
of getting amped up. You tell it's about to happen.
okay, great.
Okay, I think Ada will be like, Ragaire, time to go. And she's gonna start like pulling Ragaire back. We need to get to the watched and see if we can get him to safety. Don't trust Angar.
Yeah, I feel like Ragaire wants. I mean, yeah, I mean, Ragaire's like, yeah, sure, let's go back. Let's go.
I need you to
Okay.
push me. Please.
I do think so. This is now there's an actual consequence to be had. So I think both of you will make speed checks.
Oh, how to do that?
Speed.
Speed is a stat, and it
Okay.
is icy. So the ob will be +1, which
Okay.
if we're doing, let's say base ob 2 to just scuffle your way back, but we'll do ob 3 because it's icy.
Hmm.
Okay.
And we're both making separate individual rolls.
Yes. And it's also nighttime, so I think there will be a darkness ob for one of you.
Oh my god. Okay.
Do you want to go first, Sean, and then I roll, and Kate, and maybe I can.
It'll just
I don't
be
think you can help me if I fail.
Oh.
So
the darkness will just be +2 rather than the full on 3 because you're just trying to move quickly, not do anything. I guess you're not even trying to see, so we'll just do +1. So it's total for 4 for you because you're not really trying to see. You're just trying to move quick, not slip on ice.
You
see
could
where you're going. in
set
general.
yourself up to help.
I could what?
Set yourself up. Right?
Oh yeah, I mean I could do a linked test.
Your linked test, yeah.
If that
Because I
was-
assume your speed is maybe 4.
my speed is exactly
Yeah.
4, yeah. It's not
We'll just
big
roll
deal.
4 6s. Sarah does it all the time. I'm sorry, Abby does it all the time.
Yeah, I don't think I have that luck. I mean, I have like orienteering, stealthy, and tracking.
You can't fork
I'm
into
wondering, can I-
stats.
Oh, you can't work into stats. Right. You can only help into stats.
What the fork?
No, you should go first, Sarah. Ragaire should test his speed.
Okay. So I won't have any helps and advantages, no Eartha. And for me, we said base ob 3.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, can we help each other? Since it's stat.
Oh.
Did I roll a 6?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No 6.
not great. Okay. That's fine. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go for it.
Yeah, it doesn't get much worse than that, so.
It's worth the test.
Yeah.
Okay, base up 4.
Oh my.
It does get worse than that.
Yay!
0 successes.
So much
wow,
fun.
that's tragic. Oh my gosh, but I rolled agility, but it doesn't matter. It's the same.
Same, yeah.
It's the same.
You know,
Okay.
number of dice. Yeah,
That's fine.
So
I think you guys,
check that test.
you two take off. You're like, oh, we gotta get back. You turn, you start sprinting. It's very icy. You guys smack your heads into each other as you slip and fall on the ice. We'll do a superficial wound each.
Superficial. Great. Okay.
But you guys sort of like clamber your way. Sort of some of you are on all fours trying to get back to this house. As a crowd, you can see, is exiting the longhouse on the other side. And they are bearing farming implements. Some of them have lit torches, and they seem to be not very friendly. And they're turning to make their way in your direction. And with that, we'll go on a short break.
Oof.
Yay! They're headed to the Welch's
Yikes.
house, though, which is not where Abby or Logan are.
Yeah, which is good.
Not Logan. Connor, sorry.
Logan's there magically, but.
I'm
Connor.
everywhere magically.
All right, we'll be back in 10. We're back.
Welcome back. We arrived just on time. 10 minutes means 10 minutes to us, and we follow that countdown timer to a T. And that T is negative. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Yes, the friends were coming to play with you with their
Power
torches.
duel.
The friendly friends.
No, the friendly friends are the ones with pitchforks coming at
the
you right now.
friendly
Yeah,
friends.
they're
Oh,
coming to be
yes.
your friend.
I don't want their friendship.
So
I
you
say
guys
no.
have made it back to the house. I guess, did you want to go in? What did you exactly want out of that test? I've given you your penalty, so now you can retroactively set your intent at whatever you want.
Wasn't our intent to get the Woach? Isn't that what you said, Ada?
Yeah, Ada's intent is to get the Woach somewhere safe and warn him, and hopefully in that process also get us somewhere safe.
Okay. I think you can get to the Woach. I don't know if you're not going to be able to like get him up, get him back downstairs, and somewhere safe out of the house before they get there. You can try and do something in the house, but I don't think you're going to be able to leave in time. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense. I'm thinking my options. We can hide him in a cupboard.
They'll just take us, but he's hidden in the cupboard.
I mean, I don't know if they'll take us for sure. It seemed like they were most mad at the Woached. I don't trust either of us to defuse the situation particularly well.
Nope.
What you mean? She would never say anything inflammatory, and you would never give them a chance to react to what you say.
Exactly. I'll just
don't let
hold
me
the
take the
conversation on one side the entire time. Also, I hate my rival, so I don't think I want to have to deal with that. Okay, I mean the other option is just
you can hide with the Woach, and I can try and go get our night mistress. Morrine.
Ooh, that sounds like something else.
Yeah, no, I mean that would be
that
totally
was the
different.
The first campaign had night mistresses.
Night mistress.
That was my mom. She was the head night mistress.
Our Lady Knight. How about that? Ex-Lady Knight.
Oh, Knight. Okay.
Knight with a K.
Oh.
Knight with a K, mistress, not Lady of the Night.
So confused. Okay, that makes sense now.
Come on, y'all.
I'm not good with synonyms.
So, yeah, I go visit a brothel. That'll solve the problem.
I'm sure they have quality
That makes
brothels in Hochen.
Quality.
Leaky shack.
They were the first ones sacrificed. Yeah,
that or we could just try and hide and leave the Woach on his own. Doesn't seem like a great idea, but I don't think we have a good. Oh,
Y'all could
Ragaire,
come hide in my
yeah,
overly
I'll-
furnished house.
I'll advance the scene for you. So this mob gets to the Woach's house, and they sort of encircle it, and they start sort of yelling at Martine to bring out the interlopers. They're like, well, no, I take that back. I think they're gonna just try and sort of do it stealthily. They're gonna try and get in to the house. They don't know that you guys are awake.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
But I mean, it's they're not being super quiet.
Yeah. I think A, does the door have a lock?
Probably.
Ada flips that lock.
Okay, great.
B, is there something I can use to reinforce the door?
Yes.
C, can I do that?
Yes. Okay. So they try the door. It won't open. So now they start shouting at Martine to produce the interlopers. that he is upset Tower Rot and it's up to them to right it.
I imagine we are in Martine's like bedroom.
Yeah,
with him now.
probably.
Yeah, I think Ada probably saw the mob getting closer and closer. She was like, "Wait, and then did all the door stuff and was like, "Okay, up." And yeah, have joined with a freshly woken teen. Does Martine seem intent on giving us up? Probably.
He's like, oh, I think we should just go talk to them. I hold
go
quite a
talk to
bit of sway over these townspeople. I don't know what's gotten into them. Let's just go talk to them.
I don't think I want to talk to Martine.
You've wanted to talk to literally everyone.
They weren't holding pitchforks and torches and also talking about something I've never heard of, which I'm very curious about. But now is not the time or place.
He's like, okay, I'll go calm them down. And he goes to the door and begins to move the things to go out to talk to them.
Martine, there's a window!
Ragaire grabs Martine and like lifts him by his wrist and like moves him away and plops him down. Like, no.
Okay, well he's like, you wanted me to go out to talk to them, and then this one doesn't want me to leave. I think
talk to them through the door.
I tried to go through the door. Anyway, he's gonna try to move the stuff.
He's intent on moving the stuff. Yeah. Okay, got it. Ragaire looks at Ada and is like, leave him.
Can I haggle with his life? as bargaining leverage.
Or you can haggle with the people.
Could try.
What do you want to do? He's going out that door. Unless you do something.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you do something where Ragaire grabs you and jumps out the window.
Ada's taking control of this situation. She's tired of all this. She says, okay, Martine, let's see if you're worth your druthers. Let's see how you got this Woach title. And she helps move all the stuff, and she throws a big old blacksmith arm around Martine, hugs him close, and is like, let's go, buddy boy. Opens up that door and is like, hey, everyone, how are we doing today? It's my good old friend Martine. Ingar, is that you?
Perfect. So as you open the door and step out, we're going to hop a couple houses down to the residence of one Beaumont. Three Beaumont, actually. One of them doesn't know about it. So, go ahead, Morrine. We're going to make a versus roll. They're going to be stealthy, and you can try and observe them.
Fantastic.
You're asleep, so you have +1 ob.
I love that for me. Opening observation.
Oh no.
Even better.
They are also unskilled in stealth. So
same-ish.
Same. Okay. But I guess you do have +1 ob.
Yeah, you roll first.
I'll roll first. So what? Unskilled versus
stealth is based in agility, I think.
Speed.
You have to do the stat.
Speed?
Yeah.
So I just roll that, right? I don't double anything.
No.
Okay. I mean, you double each other's successes, I guess, theoretically.
Stealthy is speed, yeah.
Okay, great. 3.
Ugh. Why do you have to be like that?
And it's plus 1 op, so it's 4.
Yeah.
4 for you. Which might be a test for your stat.
Oh, I did that wrong. Hold on. Sorry. Base obstacle 3.
Actually doubled to 6.
But there. Oh, I.
Plus
I'll
1?
just roll with all zeros.
Plus 1.
Okay.
If
Okay.
So it doesn't even matter.
Well, I have 2 6s, but I don't
Oh.
think I care.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So you are politely awoken with a knife to your throat,
Fantastic.
but they're not. They don't like punch you in the face to wake you up. They just sort of like wake you up, and they're like, "We gotta have a meeting
Who is it? Just somebody?
this way." It's just a couple of these townspeople. There's like a. They also have woken up Alden this way, and he's
Uh-huh.
just like totally out of his league, and he's like already been like, "Okay, great," and they've like bound his hands real quick, and they're sort of leading him out.
Okay. That's fine.
Okay. So you're just gonna go with them?
Yeah.
Okay. You could try to resist, but if you fail, you'll take a light wound. But they're just sort of leading you out. They're not like being super aggressive. They're
Mm-hmm.
just politely binding your hands.
I do not have good skills for any of this, so I'll just go.
Okay, great. So, flashing back to you, Ada, opening this door and walking out. Greeting the greeting committee.
Greeting the greeting committee.
Mm-hmm. And you have
Like
Martine
step
sort of
outside that door. Yeah.
buddy
just
with you.
Buddy. Yeah. Martine, my good friend. And Ada is like, wow, this is quite a group. I didn't know there's even this many people around. It's great to see you all. Glad to meet you. Is there a problem, friends?
It's like there's a couple of them shouting. They're like, "Yeah, we have a problem. You've come to our town and you've made Towerhot angry, and we have to make her happy again." And there's like a bunch of people shouting over you, and they're just like getting angry. But Martine is like telling them to calm down. He's like, "Put down that torch," and then he's like, "You go away," and then. Then they start yelling at him. They're like, "Martine, you suck. Like, you've made Tarwat angry too." And then he's like, "No!" And then he gets into like a verbal altercation with Angar over in the corner.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I mean, the intent is to not be sacrificed, I guess, in the sort of complicated way that might work.
We don't want to be taken.
Okay.
I think really my intent is to back up Martine because Ada thinks that Martine is going to be better at convincing these people not to do anything.
Okay. So
Ada
they
wants to,
are currently, as a group, they are following Angar. So Martine doesn't have a lot of sway. So if you wanted to do this verbally, it'd be like swaying against Angar to get them to listen to Martine, who is trying to defuse the situation.
Yes, I would love to do that and fail horribly. This is gonna go real bad.
Or I mean, can Ragaire
can take the lead.
This is like a perception roll or something, but like we did listen to that conversation, so like Ragaire could tell who the leader is.
Yeah.
And can just come at the leader and take out, like, be like, I'm gonna take out the, like, knock out the leader. kind of a thing.
And hope we don't further incite this angry torture.
Brother Wirt, you're not even here.
There are
Brother
about
Wirt and Ragaire styles are polar opposites.
okay.
They
They are just townspeople. They're not like, you can tell they're not trained, and they have just like
Yeah, I'm not trying to kill
tools.
anybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
but there are
I'm
like
just,
20 of them.
I'm just trying to literally like brawling. My intent is to knock out Angar, essentially stone cold knockout, and yeah, like take him out of the picture, kind of a thing, so that the townspeople are maybe a little bit shook up
Okay,
and will listen.
He's not sort of like readily available, so you could
Why?
try to like make a break for him.
Okay.
But he's
Mhm.
not just like out in front, like, come on, come at me.
Yeah, like a linked test kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I would say my intent would to sneak around to the back wherever Angar is. Since we've opened the door,
Yes.
I would, like to sneak to where Angar is
hmm
and then knock him out.
Okay. I think it'll be less sneaky more quickly.
So
which I
speed
think
test.
stealth is in speed, so it's essentially the same. But yes, a speed.
I have better speed, so I'm okay with that. I'm okay with this.
Okay. Let's see. It'll be against his sort of observation. No, we'll just do a straight up ob. Let's just do an ob 3. It's icy out, so ob 4.
He's not inside? We're inside what's his
No.
name's room.
No,
We're
no,
outside.
no. We're outside now.
Okay, we left the room, so that's
The door
outside.
you went out
Ada
was
opened
the
the door.
exterior door.
Oh, I thought it was a hallway.
No.
Got it. Ob 4, you say?
Mm-hmm.
If I want to do it quickly, I forget what that means. Carefully,
You can spend
patiently,
extra
quickly.
successes to make something happen 10% quicker.
That's not helpful.
10%.
That's not helpful.
Not particularly.
And carefully and patiently don't really make sense. So
Yep, don't really make sense.
I will just go with God and get that Angar. No.
Oof.
Oh no. Okay, yeah, I think
Oh god, we have superficial wounds.
Yeah, it's a bad time.
Oh, I forgot about the superficial one.
You do have 2 6s, but you'd
You
have
do
to
have 2
re-roll
6s.
them into another 6.
What?
You're muted.
Muted yourself.
You're
Sarah.
muted.
Just it's fine. We're fine.
Okay.
We're fine.
Yeah. I think that you are not prone to moving quickly. This is all unfolding. You're like, we can debate this for the next 4 hours, as far as I'm concerned. And I think you're just sort of unable to to muster the initiative in this moment. You're like, this isn't a really pressing thing right now. So yeah, you can't really find an opening and then also take it right then and there.
I can't like muscle my way through and then find the right path to him.
Yes.
Okay.
You're not entirely sure which one it is. You've heard his voice, but like there's a lot of people outside right now.
Okay.
Okay. And at about this point, you see they've wheeled out our lovely couple.
Joke's on them, they can't bind my hands together.
Oh, they sort of tie it around your waist. That's funny. I forgot about that. Yeah, so
I really want you to say that. Take that, bitches!
They're being sort of wheeled down the street to join this group. And they're like, we already have 2 of you, so just surrender so no one has to get hurt.
Isn't
seem to be
surrendering
how this is
getting
working.
people hurt?
They don't know that you know anything.
Okay. Okay, so I could attempt to haggle our lives with Angar. Which sounds like a bad idea. They're +1 up. Or I could haggle to buy time, which maybe would be easier.
Sure.
Or I think Morrine has better persuasion than I do, and I could back her up.
She doesn't know anything, though, is the problem.
Ada
it's
can
pretty
back
obviously they don't like her.
her up, or set her up by being like, "I understand you want to sacrifice us and all."
Well, but they don't know we know, so it might not be a good idea to reveal that we were sneaking up on them. Okay, so
I mean, I can persuade if you want. They're all yelling about tower rot, and I was gonna use her anyway, so.
Okay.
Her, him, it. If you're good with that, unless you want to go.
I'm fine with that because I'd much rather help you.
Okay. So they wheel us out a couple doors down. Did they leave my child?
Yeah, she was asleep. They didn't really.
That's good. No child sacrifices today.
Nope. They draw the line with that.
Just be like, guys, y'all need to settle down. This tower rot. It sounds like she's upset, but instead of whatever you want to do with us, we can just help her so that she's not upset anymore. Like, let us help you. Help us help you.
Okay. And so what is your intent?
To calm people down enough to have an intelligent conversation about this. So that maybe we can understand what's going on. A little bit more.
Okay. And you're going to do that by talking to them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see. I think we'll do a versus you and Angar.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to sort of calm people down, and he's still trying to
Yeah. Rile them
keep
up.
going.
Sure.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm gonna roll persuasion.
Okay.
And I'd like to fork in conspicuous to like make myself bigger than him. Like he's also trying to talk.
Yeah.
But I want to be the more important talker.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to roll first? Do you want me to roll first?
I think you're the aggressor in this situation, technically.
That's good.
That's good. Okay. So he's going to sort of just, I guess, versus persuasion.
Yeah.
He's also going to use persuasion.
Sure.
Okay. So he has a 4. And he's going to fork in cult doctrine.
Ooh.
Love that for him.
And oratory.
Love that he's got that.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So that's 6.
Oh, by the way, his shade is also white.
He is Tower Rat.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Don't like that at all.
Okay. A 4.
Oh. Do I have anything for that?
No, unless you spent a persona, but I don't think you can spend it after.
Here, I'll give you a partial success.
Yeah, I was seeing if I had like a call on or anything, but I don't.
Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to calm the situation entirely, but I think you will be able to draw enough attention to give these two like
Perfect.
an opening
That's
to do
that's
something.
fine. Yeah, that's good.
Whatever they want to do. They have like a couple heartbeats of no one's looking at them.
I don't know what to do. I don't have anything good except running away and
Run
trying to
away!
talk again. But I don't think fighting is a good idea.
We're gonna let it ride. I don't think they're gonna be able to be
Convinced.
talked down at
Yeah.
this moment unless something else changes.
Why don't you just sing and cause wonderment?
That's
Ooh,
literally
that's a
what
good
I was
idea.
gonna say. I was like, Ragaire, but I think, Ragaire was trying to play it cool. And then he's like, oh, this is, I'm done with all this yelling so loud. So he'll sing a spell song. It doesn't have to be, I'm gonna sing Lament of Stars because it's not really applicable. It doesn't like have any effects other than helping me with a grief test later. And
Okay.
all spell songs cause wonderment, so it doesn't really matter which one I do.
Great.
I hope you're ready for this mechanic.
Logan, remember when we said we were gonna figure out what wonderment means? And
Uh-huh.
I think
You
you have
have
to
to
make
make
a
a
steel
steel
test, and then that's how long you hesitate.
That's
Yeah.
how long they hesitate.
they
Yeah.
hesitate.
Yeah.
But it affects
Okay.
everyone.
Who hears it.
All
Yeah.
spell
Yeah.
songs, I have it bookmarked here. All
Great,
spell
yeah.
songs, regardless of primary effect, cause wonderment. This enchantment affects all non-elves in the presence of the singer, forcing them to make a steel test. The test to sing the song must be successful, and if the elf should stop singing, wonderment and the steel effects end. So I literally have to keep singing. And while using a spell song, the player should test the song as if it were a skill. If sung successfully, all those susceptible within his presence should make a steel test with hesitation modified by the margin of success.
Perfect. Okay. Go ahead and
Plus
make your
one
roll
ob
then.
for every success over the song obstacle.
Yep.
So do you have an ob or is this just like a versus? Does your spell have an ob inside of it?
Dun, dun,
Like
dun,
this
dun, 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 dun. I
Lament
don't
of
think it
Stars or
does, but
whatever?
let me.
Grief songs are against the laments are against a grief obstacle.
Lament
which
obeys all
doesn't really
standard rules for
have
laments. Yeah.
at the moment. But you can set just an ob.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll just do a nice ob 3. There are people
Cool.
talking and shouting, so you gotta be a little loud, but
Okay. Am I able to sing carefully or no? I don't know if that works. We can make a decision.
I
can't
think
fork.
so.
I can't fork with spell songs. Okay. All right. Base ob 3.
Oh, never mind. Well,
What are my rolls today?
Oh, it's because you've got that plus one ob.
I got
Yeah,
that
that's
plus one ob.
Rough. But that's a
Rough.
good difficult test.
yeah.
It is. You're right.
Yeah, I think they you start to sing and before you could really even get a word out, I think they like put a bag over your head or something so you can't continue your song. And you're now sort of blinded.
Hooded.
But yeah, hooded. But Sean, you still have your opportunity given to you by Abby or by Morrine.
Can I spin a falsehood? Can I say I was sent by this demon?
Noise.
I'm so scared. This is so bad. Do you think that changes the situation enough to be a different social skill?
I don't think so. there's been some talking, and there's not been a lot of successes.
don't
So I think we're.
have anything else I can do. I can hunt.
I'll be
can
like,
cook.
you want meat? I can go get meat.
How
I
many
can
people are in
craft.
this crowd?
Like 20.
Oh.
Can I challenge him to a blacksmithing duel?
You can surrender.
Yeah, you can just let them take us wherever they want to go, and we can try and do something later.
That would be a
That
change
doesn't
of
seem good.
situation.
Really bad idea.
There,
We could fight. You guys at least have your weapons and armor and stuff.
I mean, we
It's
could.
true. We could
I
fight.
don't really want to, but we could.
These are two are
And-
injured, and she has a bag over her head. I think you guys can do it.
Yeah. I mean, but we're not bound yet.
Right, no.
No.
We don't have. Well,
I could get
I
myself
don't
out of
think
my
I have my
situation
weapon
too.
drawn.
Okay. Well, they're starting to lead Morrine and Alden away.
And I can't see.
And you can't see. So they're gonna ask you to come nicely, forcefully.
Are they telling me what to do, Logan? Because I do nothing.
No, they're
Because
just like, come, or they're just like,
okay,
let's
that's
go
fine.
this way.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
They're like, we got
the
your friend, you should just
acquiescence.
come with us so no one has to get hurt.
She bares her teeth at Angar, and she's like, "Well, let's see what this whole little play is about."
So you guys are led politely through town to sort of a clearing on the outside. You're all sort of like tied to a tree.
I'd like to buy a flashback. No.
and they begin
I'd
to
like resist
construct
that consequence.
a large bonfire.
Oh, I love being burned at the stake.
No, they're not burning you at the stake. There's no stake. There's just this bonfire, and then there's a large idol that they've sort of wheeled out from somewhere of a plump woman with 8 voluptuous breasts and a hippo head.
Huh.
Sort of very finely constructed, sort of put next to this fire. And they start, and they're all chanting and praying, and it goes on for a very long time. And eventually they burn the hippo-headed woman statue, and then it seems to be a very large display. And it goes on until the early morning, at which point our good friend is like, I'm gonna go meet up with my friends.
Just Wirt, rise and shine.
You rise early, you're like, gotta get
Ooh, a lovely little
town, gotta-
bonfire.
He's a monk.
Yeah.
He's
Sucks that
always
all these people have weapons.
Maybe
just, like-
someone's actually run to the abbey and is like, hey, something's going down. They have your friends.
I imagine he just like looks out the window and sees this curl of smoke in the distance, like, oh, that can't be good.
Yeah, it's true.
Danger has often been associated with Ada too. I think she finds herself in a lot of trouble. So you just little back of your mind, you're like, oh, she did something, didn't she?
Yeah, Wirt very hurriedly grabs his bag and throws on just layers of cloaks that he's gonna put on the right way as he's on the road and start hoofing it.
Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything we can do while they're doing this ritual? Like, find a weakness in the ropes, find more information about this cult goddess thing? Like, I want to...
You can do any number of those
do
things. If you want to
stuff.
just escape,
I
there's
don't want to
the
escape.
escape artist skill.
Obviously, we have that.
I didn't realize that was a skill. That's a new one. I did not know that. They really hit you with the good stuff sometimes. And that is not in this book.
I
Where
bet
do you
it
see
is.
that?
It's
No, it's not.
It's told to me right here.
Well, I am in ES of this skill book, and there's no escape.
There's no escape.
There's estate management.
Oh, that's actually what I meant. Yeah, you.
But right
Manage
before
this
that is
estate.
engraving. So, no, I think I want to open Empiralia. No, not Demonology. I need to open Demonology, actually.
Ooh.
That's what I need to do.
Okay.
No, I think at least in the beginning, Ada's more practical. She wants to kind of test these bonds and find if there's a weakness in the rope that is binding her. I don't know if that'll be a
Okay.
perception check or something else.
Maybe
Appraisal.
appraisal. What if it's just an agility? Just like you're
Okay.
tied behind, so you can't really like look, but you can like sort of play around, try and find a weakness in their nodding.
Sure.
Do you want me to do it or we could both do it? You have
Yeah,
you're
I mean,
injured.
you can help. Stat. Oh, I forgot. I'm injured. God.
We
Yeah,
keep
it's
forgetting we're
horrible.
injured.
It's only an ob 2 agility to find a weakness.
I mean, I have 4.
Yeah, I have
agility,
an infinitely better chance of doing that.
Yeah,
I feel.
it's like twice as much. Yeah, I think you should do it, and I'll like help you.
Okay,
try to
yeah.
help you. They're pretty distracted, so I'm like whispering stuff. Like usually with rope
Maybe
it's
I can
nice.
move a little bit better than you, so you're like, try that, and like go back.
Right,
there.
right.
Yeah.
You only have one hand. They have
Mhm.
110 binding you.
Right. Okay. Do I get help die from that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll help with it. I mean, like I'm trying to break stuff on my own.
Yeah.
But my head feels like a little clouded from everything, so I'm just kind of whispering, like, I think I feel weakness, and like how the knot. It's this kind of knot, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to convey some more information.
Ob 2?
Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness.
Nice. Yeah, so they
So nerve-wracking.
they don't really. They were not expecting you to be missing an arm, so their nodding work was a little lax, and so you can tell that it's like you would be able to get out like easier than if you just tried to like break the nodding.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not currently untied,
Yeah.
but you could now like untie yourself rather than having to break through the rope.
What would it be to do that?
To untie yourself?
Mm.
Well, it says escape artist, but apparently that
Sleight
doesn't
of hand.
exist.
I mean, you can make up new skills technically.
Sure. Let's make up the skill escape
Slippery.
artist. So
What
I
is that
assume
based in?
You're all untrained. It's agility, according to this thing.
And what would the ob be?
I made this up.
I know, yeah. So it's ob 2, but since you're opening it, it'd be
Right.
agility ob 4.
Right.
No, I can't.
Okay. Okay. Well, here comes Brother Wirt.
Yeah, so Wirt is not a man to run headlong into things. I imagine he's going to kind of stay on the outskirts of the woods or something and try and get an eye on the group, see who's leading this cult in prayer, I assume.
Yeah.
Figure out maybe what they're praying for what to happen.
Okay, yeah. Well, it's pretty easy to see who sort of the leader is. It's this man, you don't know his name, but it's Ankar.
Mhm.
If you want to know what they are praying for, do you have a skill like I'm thinking like something religious.
Suasion, doctrine,
Doctrine might
Demonology.
work. Do you have
Doctrine? Okay.
demonology?
I have demonology.
Demonology roll. Ob 2.
Okay, Ob 2 demonology. I think that Wirt is. What is he? What is he,
Also-
and how is he going to fork something into this?
They are, like, this is a long thing, so you
Mhm.
could do it carefully or patiently.
Yes, yes. How about I hit you with one of these? Wirt will, in the woods, try to hide behind a tree for as long as he can and be as inconspicuous as possible so as to get the most time to hear the chants and the things and see how, if he has a longer time to hear this, maybe he gets more out of it and forks in inconspicuous.
We're going to set this rule in session 1. Inconspicuous means you are seen but not paid attention to. Stealthy
I
means you are
see.
not seen.
So yeah, I
That's
want to be
fair.
inconspicuous because don't want people to be like, "Oh my god, there's an elf here."
Yeah.
Yes.
But okay, got it.
That's fair, I guess. Okay, so
You could probably fork in doctrine.
yeah, I was gonna say let's try for demonology with a little dash of doctrine, and we're gonna listen very carefully so
Okay.
as to get a +1 die.
Okay.
Base ob is what?
2.
2. Oh, it hurts me. It hurts me so.
Okay. So
We are doing great.
you're doing great. So you're just always right on the cusp of understanding. You're like, okay, I just gotta
Mhm.
wait. They're about to tell me. Like they're about to say it, and like it's just taken you a little bit longer than you would have imagined. Like you're like, oh my god, okay, I know I've been listening for 30 minutes, but they're about to say it right now. And you get the general idea. Like this Tower Rod is a fertility goddess of some sort. You've never really heard of her, but they seem to know a lot about her, and they're chanting to her, and she demands like a blood sacrifice. They think they're not quite really up to date on her doctrine, but you do take a while, and it's almost daybreak, and this ritual is still going on, and there is a commotion sort of like on the opposite side of, like, you're in the woods, and then on the opposite side from the woods, that's where the commotion is. There's like this loud pounding, and then from the forest emerges this massive bear that just charges into this clearing. Some cultists are like looking in confusion, and this bear just slaps them down. Like 3 people are dead by the time this bear gets into the middle. The cultists, all hell breaks loose. These cultists start screaming about Tawarat not being happy with their sacrifice. Some people try to like go to you to, or not you, but like the ones that are tied up to like throw you on the fire and be like, oh my god, we got to sacrifice. But like this, all hell is breaking loose. This Angar sort of like turns to address it, and the bear sort of like punches him with this paws, and Angar goes like flying to the ground. And the cultists are like scattering as this bear is rampaging, and then it turns and looks and sees you all tied and like takes one step towards you, and then that is where we'll call it for the night.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
I don't like this at all. I'm so scared. This has escalated so quickly.
Yeah. Oof.
Song
like a
of
rocket.
bear taming. I would like to sing a song to the bear.
Taming.
I want to hunt that bear.
I'll try soothing platitudes. I think that's the best I can do.
I will smith that bear
I'll brawl that bear.
into a better bear.
Oh, see,
Brawl
that's
that
really
bear.
something. That's what we really need.
Okay, well, I guess we got to do Artha now.
Yeah,
The best part.
Artha.
Eartha. So
Eartha.
let's
Just go through the list.
Yeah, earning Artha. Okay, so we start off with fate. So you get beliefs. Did anyone's belief drive the game forward?
Yes.
Driving the game forward with a belief. Yeah. I don't know if
Yeah, I'd say
I mean, we snuck around to look for. I snuck around to find traces of people, and that's how we stumbled upon the cultists.
Yeah. So you can get a fate for that. So I guess a fate is if you get it if you're working towards it. Like if it came up and you did something, a test was done, something happened because of your belief. If you complete the belief, then you get a persona. But a fate, you just you get them as you're working towards it, and then when you finish it, you get a persona.
Yeah.
So it's not like that counts, even though you didn't really do something or like make progress in finding about your liege's son. You were investigating the rumors. You brought it up. You get the fate. So it doesn't have to be like super concrete.
So for my Lord Stravit belief,
Yeah.
if I was trying to investigate him and my belief is I will evaluate if he has pawned his responsibilities off on the outer bureaucracy. He seems to be pretty AFK, and I brought him up to that guy, but he didn't want to tell me about him.
You brought him up to Martine?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
you did. Did you?
I think so.
Sure. Yeah, take a fate.
Okay.
I'd say the closest I got to anything was my sister's ailment is worsening, and I must learn that this is ordained by God. The intent was to go to the abbey and talk to her and advance that. But...
Yeah. That's fine. You did go to her rather than staying with the group, so that counts. So you got
okay.
fate.
I did bribe a small child to try and tell me about this smith I hate.
Yeah, that counts.
All right. Blue.
And I cannot remember for when we played. You can get a fate from each of your beliefs, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like a one and done. It's any number of your beliefs.
But I
that
think
you
you
have.
can only get one per belief.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
One per belief.
It feels like my convince my family to remain in that village for the time being is done, because I think it's advanced past wanting to do that. Yeah.
Since you've been kidnapped.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a persona.
Sure. Yeah. Just right off the bat. Yeah. Take that. Or for the time being, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That counts. I think
I would like the belief slot. Yeah.
Okay. Any other beliefs for fate driving the game forward?
Well, I didn't really do anything actively, but it seems like the question might have been answered here. Hochen is under siege by Diabolists, and their source must be uncovered.
Yes.
Found the source.
Yeah, I would say fate. If you had succeeded on that last demonology to sort of understand, I think that would have completed it. So you can either keep it and complete it next time, or you can add to it. But you can definitely get a fate for that.
I think we'll leave it as is.
Okay.
Yeah, my belief is I must sever evil, and I didn't succeed in that.
No, but you did. You were trying to do it, so you can take a fate for that.
Okay.
Okay, great. Any other beliefs? If not, instincts. So these are if your instinct makes your life difficult.
Nope.
I did not do any instincts.
Not yet.
Nope.
I'll say, so when someone is holding a sword, it's best to let them have their way. I didn't approach the group of cultists. I didn't walk into this situation and try and hot-headedly get anybody
you
out
weren't
of
even
anything.
I'm not even going to help my friends. I'm just going to listen. Yeah. Sure.
Ragaire has seen you the whole time, just on the edge of the woods.
Just a scarf poking out from a tree. You're just I know that scarf.
So
I see you over there.
Sometimes I used your instincts as a failed roll complication.
Yeah.
Do we think that counts towards earning fate as well.
No.
I was wondering about that because I have my instinct for generosity, which I
Mhm.
used for the child. So I
Mhm.
wasn't sure if that should count.
I
even though was
I
also...
think yes, because my intent is to use that to present you with a situation, but you didn't have to pay her. You could have left, and now you have the consequence because you wanted to do it.
Yeah, to resource rolls potentially.
Yeah.
Later on. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. I think that feels very natural, which is nice.
Mhm.
We just got to be careful about like not relying on it too much. I guess I don't know. Making sure they're meaningful.
Yeah. Anything more difficult instinct-wise? I think Sarah, I used your rushing around as a complication for you.
I was
times.
thinking about that too. Yeah, me just kind of just being like slow.
I'll give it to you because I didn't do a great job of giving it as an opportunity, so I'll just keep that in mind going forward. But you can have that because I didn't do that super well. But in the future, I'll make sure if I'm using an instinct, I'll give you a choice and you can choose to go one way or another.
Perfect.
Any other instincts?
I have my artifact instinct, which stopped me from being able to help Abby. Her persuasion against Martine.
Sure.
Okay.
Traits, and I think trait is where you get one as a group, right? It's like if your traits sent the story in an interesting or unforeseen direction, you get one fate. It's not per trait. So, did anyone's traits send the story in an interesting or unforeseen direction?
I tried to play up condescending very hard, and Ragaire went and got a nice eviscerated squirrel because of it.
That was unforeseen.
I was like, I must keep the peace. Let me get a squirrel.
Let's see, gossip maybe for Ada.
Yeah.
Trying to just like squeeze information out of everyone. She was constantly moving things around. She was also kind of pressuring Martine with it. Unsuccessfully.
Well, we'll see.
Do we keen sight? I don't know if it really did anything unforeseen.
Not really, I don't think so.
That's the only idea I had.
Okay. Anything for Brother Wirt?
No, I don't really think so.
Okay. Did anyone have an in-character game-stopping humor moment?
Look at that little Ada.
Ada, what?
I was keeping track. I'm not quite sure if I made everyone laugh at the same time.
It has to be everyone laugh.
Did I make everyone laugh when I left the table?
I feel like we would remember if it's a humor.
Yeah. Okay. If you have to ask,
it
doesn't count. If you can remind us, but you can't ask. You just have to state it as a matter of fact.
All right. Well, from now on, I'll be more confident. You all laughed. Don't you remember?
Right skill, right time. Anyone have a skill to make the story go forward? This is like if everyone's at an impasse and you're like, I'm going to use this skill. No one had any idea what to do, but I had this skill that we could all rely on.
No.
Right, and I think it's supposed to be kind of niche and unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really don't think we did that.
To get out of a fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so then that was all the fate. So persona is for really good or distinctive role playing. Is that all it says, or does it have more?
That's all it says, I think.
That's all it says.
Yeah.
I don't remember how generous
we
were.
Lean into my gossiping.
You already got a fate for that, though.
That. Yeah.
I already got a fate. Yeah, but I mean that's part of my.
I mean, persona.
We can push hard for it. You're supposed to get at least one persona per session, basically. Is the goal. I think they say like 2 to 4 fate and 1 persona. 1 to 2 persona.
Okay.
If I remember the sort of.
Sure. I mean, you had very good role playing, Sean. You can take a persona for that.
Thank I will push it even harder next time.
Yeah, push it.
Really
But
hit
I
it.
want to see
I
you
gotta
push it.
decide on her accent. Is the thing.
Yeah, you got it. Is she a Southern belle, or is she like a
I really like
butch?
the Southern Belle, but it doesn't.
Or
matter.
I
New
like
Yorker.
the idea of a
Combine them.
Boston gossip.
Yeah, Boston gossip.
Oh,
Sean,
yeah,
you gotta
that
do the
is
Boston
good.
accent.
Yeah, I kind of want a butch aesthetic a little bit, so maybe we'll move into that. We'll
Hey,
see. I'm
the
working.
news
I'm
from
working
down
on
the
it.
street over here. I gotta tell you about what happened last night up in this place.
A little New Yorker. I mean, I can do a New
Did you do
Yorker
your
a little
hair?
bit.
Oh my god, you look so great, darling. Oh
You
my god.
condition the layers. I can tell you condition the layers, just like I told you. It's great, isn't it?
Oh, so good.
Did anyone go beyond the bounds of their character? This is like if
What does
you
that mean?
had. This is like if you had a belief and you did the opposite of it
Yeah.
on purpose
Right.
to develop your character.
I feel like we need to
Specifically
establish
works
characters
against-
before we can develop characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard
Doesn't
one.
feel like we
This
did
one's
that
a little
again.
harder to get, but yeah.
Mhm.
Workhorse doing all the work in the scenario.
I don't think we really hit that.
I think we were pretty even.
Yep. MVP being the crucial element of success.
Were we successful?
I mean,
We failed
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
Have you got a persona yet, Connor?
No, I have not. But I don't
You
know
can
that I
have
missed
one.
anything.
Because you did not get captured.
All right, I'll take
That's
That
fair.
was
That's
successful.
just
The
awful
whole
work.
party was not captured. Okay.
it. It's about the only success we had today.
Yeah. And then personal
That's
goals.
true.
This is the one where it's like if you finish one of your beliefs, then you get it through personal goals, which I think Abby, you did
Yeah.
get one. I don't know if anyone else finished one of theirs. Okay. And then no one did any deed worthy stuff. I don't think that's a little more rare.
I mean,
Yeah, you were just right on the cusp if you had.
It's really trying.
I know, yeah. I think you helped no matter the cost. You gave out some hardtack. That's the
I
cost.
did. That
That's
cost
some
me
good
a lot because I
hardtack.
have a resources of one.
Oh, okay, perfect. So that is all Artha. So I think that wraps it up. As if you've never played Burning Wheel, this is, and you're still watching, that's sort of how you earn experience in this game. Is you do your bits, your beliefs, instincts, and talents, and you're rewarded for them, and then you spend that. And no one really spent all that much Artha, but now that you've racked it up, you can be a little more liberal with it going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much for joining us. I had a lot of fun with that bear. I was waiting to whip him out. So
Is that scripted?
It's
or was
Rolo.
that-
yeah, the setting is that's one angry bear. The scene that
Huh.
comes in.
Amazing. I'm glad that we were prepared for the whole party to get captured and
Yeah.
for a bear to, it's like enter bear stage.
So
left.
Yeah,
funny.
yeah,
Mhm.
that there's an angry bear.
Chewing on a little bit of straw. That there's an angry bear right there. If I haven't seen one.
Never seen a bear so angry in my life.
Okay, well,
That's great.
let's see. Next week we'll be back playing Blades in the Dark. I think we just finished a score.
You did, yes. Yeah, you're getting ready for another score.
We're getting ready to to stage a heist on the Spirit Wardens. And if
Oh,
that
I
doesn't mean anything to
forgot.
you, tune in and figure out because Sean will have a great
It's a big
Score
deal. And
plans.
I'm already unhappy about it.
But then after that, we will be back in 2 weeks to finish this scenario, see what unfolds with our good friend, that one angry bear. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.